All right, guys, welcome on After the Storm, episode 11, right? Still in the double digits. Um, this evening, we've got, you know, we've got the best of the West and the best of the East, also family members. Um, we've got the head sheriff, the head ginger, the head of the Whitman family. We've got Avery Whitman, and then almost to the top of the food chain on the eastern side of the Commonwealth, Nathan Whitman. So it's an ESO versus WSO podcast tonight, but also father versus son. But yeah, Avery, Nathan, hello, welcome.
Hello.
Hello, thank you.
How are we all doing? All good?
All good, all good.
All good.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, we'll just get started now. Avery, we'll do a quick speed round with you because the last thought unfortunately corrupted and we lost your podcast. But give us a quick overview of your sort of journey into RP, like whether you started watching it or started even playing it.
Yeah. So mine, as mentioned last time, it wasn't great. It's not too complicated, not too long. Played some Gmod RP many years ago on a Harry Potter server,
Oh, that's right. I
and
forgot
then
that. Yeah.
yeah, and then been in and out of 5M for years. Never stuck around anywhere too long. Just never got too in depth in it. And then mutual friend Nat got me into uh, Gold Rush, which was my first Red M. Started
Mhm.
playing it, watched a couple of videos and streams shortly after, and then that's when I got proper stuck into it, and I've not really had a break since. And that was back in sort of mid 3.0 that I started.
Yeah, yeah. And your character Avery is the first ever character for Red M, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. First and for the most part, the only one. I've had a couple of alts here and there, but never any that have had any considerable amount of time put into them.
Apart from this new what we call the creature, this new thing,
Yeah, I've heard you've described him as a creature, which isn't entirely wrong. Plob, yeah, I
Plob.
started playing him a bit when, mainly just on times where Avery wouldn't normally be around, and I might have to dip out of something quite quickly.
Yeah,
But
almost like
it's been
like a
quite fun.
pickup character, right? So, to a
Yeah,
degree.
exactly. But he's been quite fun. It's been interesting doing something different because obviously Avery has to be. He's known for being quite light-hearted, but he has to be pretty serious at all times, and
Yeah.
obviously abide every law. But Plob, I can kind of just go around and, like I said, be a creature. And everyone that I've met so far seems to be having fun with him, other than she hates him.
Well, what doesn't she hate, right? And then,
True.
so give us a quick overview of Avery. Then, like, where is he on like the moral standpoint? Was he, how would you
So
describe him?
despite his position, I'd say he's always pretty even footing. If someone's civil with him, he'll treat them civil. Um, Equally, he's not the type of lawman who'll give people too much shit in the cells unless they're giving it to him. He has a understanding that people have to make make money and have their own ways of life, and it might be different to his, but it is what it is. Plus, with the little pocket secret that he used to do bits every now and again, so he can't judge anyone too sincerely.
See, here's the thing. Fucking Nat who plays Eleanor has still never told me this. Isn't I still don't know this in character, right?
To be fair, I've not seen her like on Eleanor since I joined law. Well, I have. She's done a couple of stalls, but not ones we've caught her for. But that'll be a big sort of needle drop moment, I think, when Avery does
Yeah,
eventually arrest her for something.
funny, funny. And then obviously currently Wesso sheriff.
Yeah, yeah, been West Sheriff since I think June last year, so almost a full year now. Obviously, a good half of my time was spent in 4.0 where things were quite quiet.
Yeah,
We tried to keep Wesso pretty active. I think at one point, there was things even in character about us being the only law around, and we tried to go down the community side of things. Had a lot of investigations, but not a lot of having to rush off to calls all the time. So we had a lot of time to kind of spend getting to know people,
I
which
don't think we ever actually went over this actually in the last podcast, but when it was quiet, and
Mhm.
we don't hide this. We talk about it, right. Whenever it was quiet, whenever there was a ping for a store, did you guys like literally froth at the mouth?
Everyone
Like,
lost for shit. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Never seen people mount up so fast in my lives.
Actually, read it.
Um,
If only it was like that now, right? All these lazy porch sitters, eh?
well, to be fair, it's been quiet out west for a while. East less so, which Nathan I'm sure will go into. But
Yeah,
yeah,
Nathan's fucking. He's like fucking or action man here, fucking running around the Commonwealth.
Been quite a bit lately, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So up the sheriff running the show out west, and then obviously both Whitmans. Your son pushes out east, huh? Or was he shunned out east?
he was sent out there, but not shunned. It was back when in 4.0 when ESO was either they'd left for other servers having a bit of a break or they were on LOAs. We had to make the decision as WSO to try and salvage it in some way and help them out. So we sent over 4 deputies in total. Nathan was one of the original ones that went, and then he's just stuck around and not come back.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
And grabbing all the ties he can get.
I wouldn't say get more like they pushed it down my throat. Kinda.
Blink twice, Nathan, if you were forced out east by your mum and dad.
Blink, blink.
All right, okay. Right, Nathan, you're obviously fresh, so tell us a little bit more in detail with you to start off with. When gaming for you, when did gaming for you start on like PC? Obviously, when we're younger, we all have like consoles and stuff like that there. But what's sort of your journey through gaming up until like role play for you?
So I started actually quite young with gaming overall. I actually started with when my mom and got together with my stepdad, and he was very much into computers and shit like that. And actually, thanks to him, is why I'm gaming today.
Okay.
Overall,
I have a real bad feeling here. You're about to tell me you're really fucking young. I'm gonna feel old as shit.
no, I'm 29.
Oh, okay, that's fine. That's fine.
He's older
Yeah,
than
no,
me.
yeah.
He
I
just
think it
sounds
was
18.
when I was six or seven. I think it's really started for me. But yeah, just basic games to begin with. One of the first action games I actually played was Halo, and
Oh, I'm so old. Oh my god. Right. Okay. Yeah. Halo. That very old 2D 8-bit game. Yeah. Go on.
awesome game. Still one of my favorites today. Uh, anyway, later on, grow up a bit, and then I got into playing Arma quite a bit, and that's
Really?
where
Yeah.
actually
Yeah. Same here. Yeah.
that's when I actually started. Well, I wouldn't say Arma is the best platform for role play. To be honest, it can work, but it's not the best.
So were
But
you doing
that's
like
where,
Altus Life and stuff like that there?
yes, Mill Sims, Altus Life, stuff like that. When I got bored of that, I moved over to 5M, and that's where actually I would say that I really started to role play and really like got a feel for it, more into it, so to say.
Now, did you? So do you just? You don't really. You don't start as an RP player, right? So did you watch it first of all? Did you
No, no, I didn't watch shit. I just moved over really.
So just decided one day you're gonna play like okay, well how do you find 5M if you've never watched role walk me through that. Like how do you find 5M if you've
It
never
was it was one of my friends that got me into it actually,
right?
and there were well, more than one friend. They were basically people I played on Altus Life with,
Okay.
the same so-called gang I was part of, and they moved over to 5M. Roughly half a year later, I joined them in it, and tested it out for the first time. It was a bit wonky, as you know. I wasn't really used to how they do it, maybe. Uh, but then from there, I moved over to Redem for the first time when Redem was kind of new and there was not much scripts for it, and tested it out, and then moved back to 5M because I got bored of it.
Yeah.
And then I think in around 2003, that's actually when I started playing Redem uh, properly, and that's when I joined Gold Rush.
So you've been in Gold Rush But basically from the start of Red M, your Red M experience, right?
Yeah, basically.
And was that 2.0, 3.0, or?
I came in, I would say mid 2.0,
Mhm.
roughly, I believe.
Okay.
And I started out with not even close to what I am now, Alarm, I was like a filthy criminal.
Oh shit. Well, look, we'll get into Red M in a little minute. So okay. So you're Armor Friends, right? You're playing Armor,
Yeah.
which is light RP. Let's be
Yeah,
honest,
it's
right?
very, very light RP.
Then how was your 5M experience? Tell us about your like first character in 5M, and do you remember what server you played on, or?
Little Los Santos was the first server I played on. It was called. It was an interesting server. It was UK based. It was. I started out there. I didn't know shit what I was doing. Like I was
Yeah.
super confused. But I started out and basically became a biker with the people
Oh
that I
no,
came over to.
biker gangs, right? Go on,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I had an issue with how they run the biker gang because it wasn't really well structured. It was more like a group of friends trying to do something, but and they never really agreed for exactly how they want to do shit. So I kind of left them and tried to build my own gang.
Okay.
Didn't really work out. I ended up joining up with a group called the Syndicate, and from there we kind of ended up somehow becoming the top dogs of the underworld on that server.
And tell us about your character, Lynn. So what you remember? You obviously remember your character's name, but like, give us a breakdown of your character in 5M.
So my first character there was I don't really know how to describe him. He was I would say he wasn't really much roleplay. He was more me, like being in there, but
Yeah,
trying
I
to.
think I think, and Avery and I talked about this as well. For 5M, it's very easy to get into because you talk about modern day stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's very easy to just like put your own personality on the
Yeah.
character you play, and that's kind of what I did when I first played
Mhm.
with my first character. After that, I actually killed him off when I left the gang. As I got kind of bored of the gang life, and I started playing a cop character on
Okay.
there.
What was your crim's name? Do you remember his name? Because I feel like you've dodged the question a few times. It must be awful.
Richard the Langray.
Okay, Richard. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, this is my real name as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, I had no fucking idea what I was doing at the time. Okay, so
Literal self-insert.
yeah. Basically, yeah. Langray is though not my last name. Just to make that clear.
Okay, thank fuck for that. I thought you just literally dosed yourself. But anyways.
But then I made, like I said, my second character where I tried to be try to play a corrupt cop on it. Not like straight out, but a bit corrupt.
Just like a footstep past the line type of stuff, not like
Basically,
yeah.
basically, what they did was that if I arrest the criminal with their weapons and shit, I saved their weapon instead of logging it in evidence logs.
Oh, okay. Were you
And
selling
then
those on?
I was selling them on to people that I had
This
connections with.
this reminds so in 3.0, right? There was a rumor that Santiago used to do that. Now it wasn't true; it was all made up, but it was always pushed. But like law never like bit on it in some way, shape, or form. We always tried to
No,
do that. Where Santiago from ESO was like he would like arrest you, take your guns, and then like not put them into the. He would sell them on.
I did
I
hear
remember
rumors of
hearing
that.
about that.
Yeah.
I don't know, like in 3.0, right? I was not really that involved with ESO at all. So
All right.
So
So sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, Nathan, your law character wasn't. You didn't really have long in
no,
3.0
no,
on him. To
no.
be fair, you were mainly Goldman, weren't you?
Yeah, I played a Goldman. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, look, tell us about your cop, right? So,
So
how did you find first of all the change from like being a criminal, which is, let's be honest, it's pretty fucking easy to be a criminal, right?
it's really, really, really easy to be a criminal. Like all you do is really, you gather what you need to do a crime, and then you escape. It's so fucking simple.
Yeah. You've heard that first, guys. So fucking simple. Anyway, go on.
So when I first tried law, because you have so much more restriction when you were playing a cop, because you couldn't really be as violent as you were as a criminal. Never shoot first. They were really go for the taser most of the time, and criminals. well, they always took to violence where they could, right?
Yeah.
I did like the car chases though. That was more fun to chase than to flee, in my opinion.
Mhm.
And I gotta be honest, I was pretty good at it.
Oh, okay. We got a all-star Andy here on the cop side. Yeah.
And not, but I was shitty at shootouts to be honest though. Like I was really really terrible with guns. So majority of the time I just tried to be as interceptor. Try to just chase
Yeah.
them down and then let my colleagues take the gunfight if it came to it. But yeah, it was interesting. And then he became part of the K9 unit. Basically, have a dog with him all the time
Yeah.
when he was on patrol. It's on that so though. Every dog was kind of what we have on Red and now, a player that played a dog. So they basically had a player that was the dog that
Oh, okay.
the
So so
all
like
thing
so
on.
like useful fifis instead of
Yeah, basically, and it was one of my friends that played the dog I had that wasn't really too much into role play itself, but liked playing on the server. And then she played my dog basically.
she played your bitch.
Basically, yeah.
And then so before moving over to Red M, was
Yeah.
5M becoming like a burnout for you, or what was the reason that you wanted to sort of like move over? Like, and how did you well
So
how did Red M come about that pulled you away from 5M?
so similar story to actually how I got into 5M. Really, is that one of the guys that was actually part of the so-called the mafia on the server I played on 5M. He moved over to Red M and asked me if I wanted to check it out. That was when Red M was very very new.
Yeah.
So I basically followed his server, but the server that he played on, I don't remember its name. I don't even know if it's around these days. It was very very hardcore on the role playing. Like your characters really had one life. If you got shot, you're basically dead.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Uh, and being a law character, there was no training for law. You basically here you got the badge, so you're law now. Basically, if you became a deputy.
Sort of was the way though back then, right? To
Yeah, it
to a
was
degree, yeah.
exactly like I said. They were very, very hardcore. The thing that annoyed me most with that server that made me leave is that when it came to initiation, right? My character got kidnapped and held at gunpoint, and then they basically lost focus. One of them ran, fell off the roof, and the other one just standing looking down at his friend that fell off the roof, and I went up and shot him in the back.
It okay.
Uh, but because with their rules that you have to reinitiate for every like violent incident that's gonna happen on that server, and
Okay,
it was
so a
like,
little bit too restrictive then.
yeah, it was way too restricted for my taste, at least. For me, if an initiation happen, like violence, if you're involved in a scene, you have to be prepared that a gunshot will be shot at you at any point of time.
Yeah.
As long as that people are there and involved in said situation. So I was a bit, fuck this, and then I went back to 5M, but I played on Space Turtle then.
As Crim or Logian or
Crim, and joined up with the Bratva.
and just it wasn't your thing. Like this is the thing I've said to Avery. Like whenever so I started on 5M, right, and then I went to Red M, and I can't go back. I can't go back to GTA 5. It's just done. You know.
I played actually a very very long time on that server. Maybe 1.5 year, I think. I played a part of the gang, but the gang kind of fell apart because the original leader left, and then the one that took over wasn't really that good of a leader, and people was dissatisfied and shit. So it just kind of
That
broke
usually
down.
happens with the glue. There's always every. It doesn't matter where it's a gang or a business or even like law or something like. I look. We all know, right, that whenever Avery fucking permas or gets banned, right, because he's an
It's
awful.
gonna be chaos.
It's gonna be awful, right? The people that will retire and not want to work, or it's just gonna fall apart, right?
Yeah, that's a kind of, at least at the moment, like when Avery misses too many experienced people to be able to like even retire if he wanted to at the moment of time.
Yeah. He's never retiring. Avery, you're
Yeah, no,
never
at this point
retiring.
he's stuck in that position forever.
Yeah, yeah. All
But yeah,
all the
and
Make
then
an army of plebs.
Yeah, well, how gone. But yeah, and then after that is when I went to Redem
It came the Gold Rush.
and came to Gold Rush. I had no plans to ever actually go back to Redem, but it was my friend that played the Sigurd at the time got me to test it out. He like come here and test out Redem with me. We can play siblings and shit like that. So like okay, fine, fair enough.
Okay,
And
so
that's
so tell us so tell us about 2.0 then. What character?
so I played in 2.0. I played a character called Henrik Rosander, very Swedish name, last name there.
Yeah, yeah, it's just like Carter's Lars Svensson, you know.
Yeah, yeah, and in the start, as you come to a new server, new environment, you don't really know what the fuck to do, right?
Yeah, you're sort of standing around and listening more than you're talking because you don't know who's talking and you know.
And exactly, you're not really used to the lingo, and that I had read, of course, the rules up and tried to fit in as much. So in the beginning, I played him as a character that didn't really had a set path,
Yeah.
but was willing to see if he could find a new life for himself. The backstory for them was that they left Sweden because of poverty, and they came to America to find a new life for themselves, basically.
Yeah.
And it started small, started with hunting, like most people do. Then met a guy called David, and ended up hanging around with him quite a bit. We moved to Blackwater, started a goulash and iced tea selling business,
Okay.
just basically selling food to law constantly. He did the farming, I did the hunting majority of the time.
But see that's easy to do in Red M because first of all,
Yeah.
the game is so visually good and the hunting is extremely, rewarding
Yeah,
and
exactly. It's a very, very viable way to do and make
yeah.
money. And at the time, law always bought food because if saloons were open, or even if it was open, they sometimes just bought food from you instead because it was convenient.
Well, that and like they're you guys are always the richest, right?
You say that my character currently, I think I have 3K in the bank.
Yeah, but you say that's like that's not a lot of money.
There's
I
a
made
point of view.
more in one day on Plump than I did on Avery.
Yeah, it's people say that law is rich. Yeah, it comes down to we sure we get paid for just being around, right? But if you as a civilian or criminal actively go there to make money, you will make more money as a civilian or
Yeah.
criminal.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. So 2.0, you're basically the civ life, right?
We started out, then I moved to Blackwater and kind of ended up in the saloon in Blackwater where a guy said, "I have an opportunity for you to make money."
Oh, okay.
And that's
Oh,
when
okay.
when the start
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
my green light started.
I've said a few of those conversations to people before. Hey, you look a bit of work.
So that's they were called the Blackwater Barons
Yeah.
at the time, and they were not like they wanted to be smugglers basically. That
Okay.
was their main goal. They want to become like smugglers. So anyway, they taught me how to do bank robberies, store robberies, all the basic shits really.
Yeah. What was this character called again? Sorry.
Henrik Rosander.
Well, okay. We'll just go with Henrik because I'm never remembered
Yeah,
that second name.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Didn't last long though because same thing there. Really didn't get along with how they ran things. So me and David kind of walked away and moved to Rhodes and started being tobacco farmers.
In wait. Were you around the Jamesons? Were you around the Jamesons then, or because didn't they run
Yeah,
tobacco in
they were
Gallagher?
there. They ran it when we got there, right? So we either we made our own cigarettes to sell at the exporter, or we sold our tobacco to them, depending on prices and all that, and how lazy we were.
Yeah. Do
I
you
think we
so sorry
yeah.
just to go back on something. You've had a few gangs, right? That
hmm
you just didn't like how they were run. Do you think that's because of your very early Arma days, whenever there was been maybe there was the structure of like the units and stuff like that? There, do you think it's
I think it's part of that. I prefer when it's a clear like structure of command, and um, I want like clear lines on how to like
yeah,
operate
this
basically.
person's above this person, that person, you go to that.
Basically,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like structure of command, and when that kind of falls apart, it becomes kind of a mess, in my opinion. Surprisingly, though, later on we will get to that. Henrik joined the Crows, and that was chaotic. But we'll get to that later. Um, so anyway, then David started doing Swamp and said that's how we actually got into Swamp and start meeting your crows. He said that Swamp sells so much easier, like easier to make money with Swamp, and a lot more less hazard to grow than tobacco.
yeah.
So then we started that. We started selling in Annisburg, and my first interaction was with this guy from the Crows called Chris, and he helped me actually take back a gun that got stolen off me in Annisburg.
Was the Crows, that was the 2.0 version of the Ravens, right?
Ish. The thing is, the leader of the Ravens was an ex Crow member.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not sure exactly how many of the Crows were actually in Ravens at the beginning when Ravens came back. I'm not 100% sure. But you could say that they have similar mentality.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because the big
Like a
thing,
spiritual successor.
yeah.
Yeah, I would say spiritual succession more than actually being, them. But
Because the big drama of 2.0 finishing was the fact that it was going to be minus 5 years going into 3.0, right?
yeah, exactly, and that's what why I decided to make it my new character and all that. But anyway,
So
we
Swamp
were
Herb, were you growing Swamp Herb at Elysian Pool and
yeah,
yeah?
mass growing swamp herb in Elysium
Were,
pool.
were you were you one of these scumbags who stacked the plants on top of each other?
No, no, never did that. To be honest, like when I started, I didn't even know you could do that. um, but no, so we growed. I got caught a couple of times, of course. I don't think I ever got arrested for selling though. Um, at the time. Anyway, I got robbed. They helped me back, and I think 2 days later they invited me, Sigrid, that was the friend that I started with, and David to join the Crows, and that's how we actually became somewhat of hardened criminals.
Right.
So yeah, that was. I'm gonna be like, for a time, me and David dressed similar to how the Darnells was dressing, but we didn't have green; we had black on.
And how did you find 2.0 then? Did you okay, well here's the thing for you, right? So what was your opinion? Because whenever me and a few others moved over, we were sort of mid to end of 2.0, and like the
Mhm.
minus 5 year thing didn't mean a fuck to us, right? But
Yeah.
for you who played it, right, were you annoyed by the minus 5 years, or do you think it was
The
gonna?
5 year itself wasn't really annoying for me, to be honest. Some people were annoyed, but I didn't really bother that much because I wasn't really that attached to my character.
Yeah, that
Uh,
was the same for us. Yeah, because we were switching from the 5M over to Red M, and we're just like very casual.
yeah, like the thing is, like this, even with Nathan, I don't mind if Nathan dies. I have no issue with that. Like I'm not really attached. If he dies, I am more than willing to start over on a new
Oh my
character.
god, fucking Edda's gonna
My
freak out with
boy.
another son gone, right?
But yeah, so became a criminal. Was fought in a couple of wars with the Crows, gang wars, robbed banks. I lived the high life, so to say.
Yeah.
Uh, then actually, I got arrested one time for accused of selling by Virgil. Uh,
Oh yeah, yeah.
uh, but back at the day, at that time in Saint Denis, by the what's now the general store, there was a food cart that you could rent to
I remember
make
the food
basically.
carts. Yeah,
Yeah, but the problem with that was that even if you took it out, not everyone would see it, right? So it was more like for yourself that you the card, but not everyone else. And he accused me of selling because he could not see the food card, and got into an argument with him, and kind of just got charged, and it was yeah, they were fucked.
and then an argument with Virgil said in so.
Yeah, Virgil. You know how Virgil was.
Oh, everyone knows how Virgil was. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
fuck that guy. No, I mean, as an admin, I think he was okay. Like every interaction I have in support ticket with him was fine and great. But his character was a massive dick.
Yeah, I'd agree with. I think a lot of people would agree with that. So then 2.0, right? So we'll move on to
Mm.
some sort of like, because 3.0 is consistent with 4.0 and 5.0. Your best memory or best scene of 2.0?
Oh, I'm only allowed to pick one.
Well, time to man up.
Okay, my best memory was actually long after the Crows were disbanded, basically, and I was living in Strawberry. I was a blacksmith and helped found a gang called the Deserted, and
Right?
we had a meeting with all the Western gangs in what's it, Braithwaite Manor. At the time, there was the group called the Grays that led it, and during that meeting, one lady was very mouthy, so I shot her and her companion just straight in the head in the
Oh,
meeting.
wait. Was this the girl who she used to stream back in the day, right? And so did her in character husband, right? The Greys, yeah.
She did, yeah, but she was the leader of the Grace, but she's not the one I shot.
Okay, yeah. So the classic: the meeting's not going well, someone's gonna lose a head.
Basically, yeah, and but every big gang basically was there at the meeting, and they kind of everyone was like, yeah, she's a fucking bitch. So it was nice getting that. It was a just a nice scene, really. How it played out, to be honest.
Okay, good. And then obviously 2.0 is what it is. It's not
Yeah,
lower or anything like that. It's basically 2.0 is alternative timeline, right?
yeah, it's alternative timeline. It's
So
like
yeah, so 3.0 kicks off, and what Nathan is always going to be law, or
Nathan
how
came
did you
in
start?
actually very, very late in 3.0, towards the end, I believe.
Okay.
Like last 2-3 months, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
Oh, okay. Is this?
November, December time, I think.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
very, very late.
This is because you're one of Avery's many pit stops on his whirlwind tour of the world, right?
Yeah, but
So how did 3.0 start then for you?
so in 3.0, me, David, and Sigrid, and some of the old members from the gang as was part of them decided, like, should we make a completely new family, like start from scratch?
Yeah.
And some were agree, some were not. But anyway, me, Sigurd, and David made the Goldman family.
Oh, the horse tuners at a strawberry.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Uh, but I really didn't like how much they had changed from 2.0, like, interface wise, UI, and all that.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And I had some shit going on in real life, so I kind of took a break
Yeah.
there in the beginnings. So I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to take a break and stop playing for 4 months, I think, 4 or 5 months.
Okay, that's a big chunk. Yeah.
And then I came back, and at this time I didn't know even who Avery was. Right, I had basically come back and didn't know what the fuck to do because, sure, David and Sigurd was successful horse trainers at the time, breeders, sorry.
Yeah.
So I just basically just lived off them. To be honest, just walked around, talked with people, met Avery, did some hunting there and there,
Just like a
and
spoiled son, I just living off the inheritance. Yeah.
basically, yeah. I did try to join law with him once, actually. But something happened between and Astrid that was it Sigrid or Astrid? I don't remember. Sigrid
Astrid
or
and
Astrid.
3.0.
Astrid, yeah, Astrid Goldman, and that was married to David. Well, Andy at the time. They had a let's say that they had a fallout out of character that kind of spread to in of character kind of thing.
Oh, I remember this actually. Where there was a divorce in game, right? There was a whole. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and at that time, like Andy was so depressed. Uh, no, was it Andy? Was Andy
Joseph.
right? Joseph. That was sorry.
Yeah.
He has played many characters. So Joseph, he was depressed, and he didn't even know if he wanted to continue with the horse breeding now that she was gone and shit like that. So I left law and took up horse breeding to like help him out and keep the business going. And that's how I got into horse breeding in 3.0.
So 3.0 for you, apart from the last few months, is again another go at Civ, right?
Yes, majority of it was Civ. I did actually rob a bank once with some old criminal friends.
And how do you think
Uh,
that would have went down, like RP wise, if because the Goldmans were the very civilian name, right? Like very.
we were civilians, but we had like for example, Ryan's son, Ryan Goldman, that I played. His sons, one of them were a doctor, the other one was a blacksmith and involved in criminal activities. And it was through them that I actually, did the bank with. Um, it, yeah, it was majority like Joseph didn't do crime. We were civilians, but we had connections with gangs.
Yeah, I think
Sometimes.
like every season, every year,
Yeah.
there's always that there. Okay, and then the end of that character came about because of what?
So basically, towards late in 3.0, Joseph kind of had enough with roleplay overall and walked away. And because he was gone for such a long time, the business got taken. As
Correct. Yeah, yeah.
he was the owner and he wasn't there. Uh, I moved then Ryan to Saint Denis and helped out my other friend that owned the jewelry store in Saint Denis, and worked there for the last time with him. And then in the beginning of 4.0 is actually when I killed off Ryan.
Okay, so wait, you were working with them in 3.0. You had been working with the Saints then, right? Because they had the gold, the jewelry
The
store.
Saints were the one that owned it first, but it was the group
Oh,
after.
the group after it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot that it got taken over. Yeah.
I don't remember exactly what they're called, but they were based out of Annisburg. I don't remember what they were called. They were the Remnants.
Yeah, no, Revelators.
Revelators. That's what's the one. Yeah.
Oh, the regulars.
Yeah, the Regulators.
Regulators.
Yeah. Doodle and yeah. Okay, so tell us then about. So that character gets killed off in 4,
Yeah.
but in 3.0 you started Nathan, or
Yes, I started Nathan. That was after I think I lost the horse breeding business, and I was kind of like, I don't know what to do. So I made a character because fuck it, what they're gonna do, and then me and Avery just talked, and like, yeah, fuck it, I make you Avery's son, and that's how it started.
is that so? This is what I was going to ask, right? Because I've never played anybody's anything, right, or asked
Yeah.
anybody to play Carter's anything, right? So is that genuinely, is that literally the whole conversation about like I'm going to make a law character? How about I play Avery's son? Or what went into making for
think
being a
we-
Whitman, I guess, right?
I don't think we'd even agreed on you being law to start with, had we?
No,
It
no, I was
literally
actually making
I
new
don't know what.
character.
Yeah, I don't know what to do on Ryan, but I still want to be around.
Yeah.
If you got any ideas, and then we kind of floated and joked about the idea of him being Avery's son, and then I had to quickly try and work out a way to retcon him to actually be his son.
Well, the ship it docked in Sweden.
Sweden.
And, yeah, just a drunken night.
So
yeah.
that's kind of how Nathan got involved in overall. So like connected to Avery, and from there met the rest of the Whitman family and the friends that they had basically.
Yeah, and whenever you were making Nathan, right? Like, okay, yes, he's okay. You have it set up that Nathan Whitman, Avery's son, somehow, right?
Yeah.
Well, obviously how, but somehow. Did you, whenever you're making Nathan, or even any of your characters, do you think to yourself, right, this person's going to be this sort of way, or do you just go in with like, fuck it, and whatever happens, happens, or do you like?
So I had a plan with him, right? Because this wasn't like exactly planned up. I was planning considering he came from Sweden basically, and so he in Sweden he lived actually like kind of like low class kind of place. His family over there was kind of shitty and stuff, so he
Yeah.
had a rough childhood, so to say.
Which let's be honest, like the late 1800s, it's gonna be rough, right? It is what it is, yeah.
And that's why he's a bit more, I would say, more violent than Avery is overall. He's more aggressive.
He's less of a bitch, yeah. I get what you're saying.
No, so I played him very, very more aggressive than I played any other of my characters.
Nathan now is very chill compared to what Nathan originally was.
Yeah, I
God, imagine the
pulled him
posters
down.
if it was old Nathan. Huh? So Nathan's got soft, huh?
So basically, yeah, but it's so I think Avery, the first time you actually disciplined someone, yelled on someone, it was actually
was you.
Nathan. Yeah.
Yeah, first discipline I had, I think I was a sergeant, or yeah, I
There
think
was
I
a
just got to
sergeant, but I don't
sergeant.
remember his name. It was another sergeant that was with me.
Oh yeah, no, so I must have been lieutenant. But yeah, it was you and the barons,
Yeah.
because essentially we'd been on a massive chase, and this other sergeant was just riding ahead of everyone else. He doesn't play anymore, and just ignoring the entire group, and was riding into an ambush.
Oh.
So I shot in the air to try and get his attention, and somehow he took that as the group in front of him opening fire on him. And
Oh
just started
no!
shooting.
Yeah.
So we got pulled into tickets. Obviously explained the situation. Everything was fine. But when we got back, I had to bollock Nathan because he was up front with the other guy and opened fire, and the other guy to question what the hell they'd done.
Yeah, and I think this was also the day that I received my deputy tie as well. Like I gone from
Yeah,
elite
you'd
to
just been
full
promoted.
deputy.
Oh shit! First day of not being a trainee and told off already.
That shit happened. Yeah. But yeah, no, a lot of times when we were patrolling, situation handler, like I don't remember, but it was a lot of time Avery, like basically Nathan, chill down, calm down, stuff like that constantly.
There's a
and
lot with the McGee's in early 4.0.
Yeah.
So in we're in, hold on, where are we? We're in 3.0, right? And you've done your law. What's it like? Because again, this is something that I've never done or been a part of either way, right? What's it like going into like, let's be honest, right, an established family where all of a sudden you have to play that this person's like Avery's your character's father, Ed is your character's mother. There's brothers and sisters. What's that like for you?
It was a little bit awkward in the beginning, to be honest.
We're calling Avery
Look,
Papa, Papa, Papa.
I think it's the time before I actually called Avery father for the first time. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, no, the first time we ever met, you did.
oh yeah,
And then
yeah,
after that, you didn't. You just went,
Yeah.
"Hello, father."
yeah.
It's probably took
And
you
after
by
that-
surprise, Avery, right?
Yeah, Avery didn't know he existed at this point, and I
Yeah.
was mid arrest of someone and just got told he was outside.
Oh, yes, right.
And
You told me
then,
this
yeah.
here. Yeah. This
So,
fucking lanky piece of shit just fucking showed up at your front door.
So it took some time, and I don't think Etta has ever her characters have really not fully accepted Nathan.
Well, I mean, like she's got. Let's be honest, she's got grounds there, right? Where just like this random kid that his mum that Avery pumped X amount of years ago, right? So.
I think, to be fair, Nathan coming into it, I don't know how it felt for you, Nathan, but from my side, that was kind of when the actual family started.
Yeah.
We didn't have a lot, we had me and Etta, who had just been married. We'd adopted Rose. We'd adopted Bev, but Bev had disappeared about 7 months ago, so we had no idea where he was. And then
Imagine starting with Rosemary. Fucking hell.
and then retconning it to make her my actual daughter.
Yeah.
But yeah, there wasn't a lot there, and no one really knew us, other than people who actually knew us and had been around us a lot in character.
Yeah.
Most people in Strawberry, to be honest, was it?
Yeah, it wasn't like now. Most people in character will know who the Whitmans are somehow.
I mean, like if it's Ginger, there's a good chance it's a fucking Whitman, right?
Yeah. Whereas then that wasn't the case at all. I think
Well, the big
Grim wise,
the big law families would have been like Cavendish's and the Graffs, right?
Yeah. So I think it wasn't a clean slate, but we had a lot that we could work with, and kind of decide as we went along.
So yeah, we basically tried to be a family, like we have done family trips and stuff like that, fishing tours.
Which I think you should, right? If this is the RP you're committing to, like I'm not saying sit down and have fucking Sunday dinner RP every week, right? But like, why not? Why not have the fucking family get together every now and again, right? Just a fucking bit of downtime for the characters, and we'll get into this when we start, talking just straight law. But I think that especially for doctors and law, they don't give their character, or some of them don't give their characters downtime. It's just law, log off, wake up, law. There's no, and it's not that they're missing character building, right? But they're missing something else that could happen that is outside of like the brackets of law and or doctor, right?
I think they missed the part of the life outside of law.
Yeah.
They missed the thing where actually connect to people outside of being a lawman.
Yeah. Okay, so Rosemary, and then fucking what?
Sunny got adopted during a fishing trip, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we went on a fishing
Okay,
trip.
so Avery and Etta are 0 for 2 now on good children. Got it.
But were you were before Sunny, weren't you, Nathan?
Yeah, I came, I think,
like a couple of months before.
Yeah, she joined in afterwards, and it was a bit awkward there also in the beginning because I always call her son and never sister or anything like that. It's just Sunny.
Yeah, but yeah, I think her and Rose had become quite good friends, and one of Sunny's backstory is she's got quite a complicated relationship with her parents, and I think they're both dead off the top of my head.
Oh dear, what a pity! She probably tortured him to death.
And then we just kind of adopted her as we got off the boat. after fishing trip and getting to know each other properly.
Yeah.
And then kind of went from there. And that was the last proper child. We had Elizabeth, but she got murdered about a week after we adopted her.
Yeah, I remember someone being read to me recently about that in character. But anyway,
Yeah.
anyway, okay, so you're now, the Whitmans are now. Well, Edda wasn't law, so it's a law government family, right?
Yeah, it's a legal
Legal
family.
family, yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so then Nathan, you're WSO. Then you start as WSO, right?
Yes, I started out in WSO, yeah.
And then this is the sort of end of 3.0. So you were sort of coming in when maybe things were starting to die down a little bit. People were like randomly, like every storm there was someone permanent in 3.0. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it was a lot of death, yeah, but we also had a lot of criminal activities still going on. So like a lot of steals, a lot of banks and shit like that still happen quite
Yeah.
regularly.
And how did you find law?
Oh.
How did you find 3.0 law then?
I enjoyed it. It was more. It was easier to because you have a community there already, like people there, and they'd have your back constantly and shit. It was nice. I did enjoy it. Of course, you want like everyone that works in your department with you, but I think majority of the people we had were decent people. But I liked it. It was. I don't really what to say. It was a group of people doing law shit, basically deputy shit.
Yeah, getting shit done.
Basically, yeah.
And then,
So we did have a lot of porch fights back then as well.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all like even with gangs and criminals, there's plenty of fucking just sitting around doing nothing. Right? Just people just like that. They just want to wake up, talk shit, and then be told they're going to go to a bank, right, or go on patrol.
Yeah.
So obviously 3.0, you got the last 2 months. Best memory of 3.0 law? Were you part of the? It was near the end of 3.0.
I was not part of the Darnell shootout.
I was gonna say, yeah. You were Avery,
But-
right?
Yes, I was meant to be. I was in the first group, and then Virgil pushed me out of it.
Oh.
I don't know if you. I ended up pushed out with Cassie, Nat, and we were just kind of riding around because we couldn't get.
Oh, that's right. Now it's been a
we
nosy
came
twat.
to you on a
Yeah,
hill.
yeah. So what for you, Nathan? Then?
I think it actually was the first time I responded to a call in the east at the government building.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We got there to help out, me and I think two other deputies from WSO. One was an AD. I don't remember exactly who those two were, unfortunately. But we got there and we saw the suspects inside were all wearing the same clothing as the ESO were wearing.
Oh, that smells like a Darnell job.
It was a Darnell job.
Yeah. It wouldn't be the first time they've dressed up as law. Yeah.
It was actually quite fun. I don't think they were expecting WSO to show up at the time. But they ran out to the swamp in the back, and it was just a hell of a good chase, to be honest. Like for fun, running through the swamps and chasing them, the information with the ESO, and it was a bit chaotic, at least from the law point of view, as the swamps is a pain to chase people in.
It is.
Know the swamps.
The swamps is annoying because you're in and out of the city boundaries, so your horse, won't go, and then you're into like the thick mud or the water. It's a fucking it's a mess to try and like travel quickly.
Yeah. So and the Darnells were on foot, and they knew the environment a lot better than I did at the time.
Yeah.
I never really been much around Saint Denis swamps. So I think we did lose them. I think ESO captured one or maybe two of them, but majority of them got away. But it was just a fun situation. Like I said, it wasn't really that long. I wasn't a big fan of the Mexican war, though, to be honest, when that happened.
So from my point of view, I don't know about yours, Avery, but like all the Mexican stuff happened on the NA storm, and I missed all of that.
Yeah, I always joke because Avery was in command at the time, and he helped plan a lot of things for it, like counter-attacks and attacks and like keeping an eye on them and things like that. But then never actually did any of it because he was just asleep in his cabin.
hiding under the fucking desk.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, is there any? So we're obviously sort of covering the Whitmans and WSO here because you're not over the ESO. Was there
Yep.
any other? Well, so Nathan's married, right? But was that 4.0?
So what?
Nathan getting married.
Uh,
Yeah, 4.0.
I think it
4.0.
was 4.0. Yeah, I think it was 4.0.
So
Yeah, because I think she was still just Frenchie in 3.0.
I think she joined. She made Cat towards like the last weeks. I think in WSO and basically just uh, got her training basically done, and then
sort of prep for 4.0, right?
Oh
basically,
yeah, because it was during the war. Because I don't think she ever actually did a final ride.
yeah, no, she didn't get to do the final ride, but she got all the training really done, and now she's a decent deputy. So
Okay. So we can talk about both of you can talk about this now because we're now moving into like more up to date stuff. But 4.0 starts for the both of you. Obviously,
Mhm.
Avery, you are top of the food chain, right?
no, everyone went back to
No,
being a
yeah,
deputy.
everyone was a deputy again.
Really? I thought did you not? I thought you got started a little bit higher. No, Avery, no, because you.
No, no,
No, no,
everyone was a deputy except for Simmons, that was the sheriff of
Simmons, and then
WSO at the
yeah,
time.
and then I think in the first week he moved a couple of people up to seniors and sergeants. I think I made it up to senior, and then I don't think I actually made it up to command at all for a good couple of months.
Okay, and then how was for both of you? Because you're obviously we used playing together, obviously as law, but like the families rolling.
Yeah, we were all in on it. I think law wise it was a bit messy, but it was quite fun because we had to be very heavy on the RP to start with, while obviously, while crims were getting ready and getting everything built
Yeah,
up. We had no food or proper guns or horses or anything.
I think that's that. Regardless of whether the server's quiet or busy, at the start of a season, us criminals are like trying to find. So it can be a week or two before you guys actually fucking have anything to
Get
do.
anything real do, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because you're just sitting there like come, just fucking someone find the bloody black market to buy a fucking shovel, right?
yeah, yeah.
So
Because I
yeah,
remember the week that people started finding everything because we had tip offs about stuff, and people coming and telling us, and we're like, okay, leave them to it.
Fucking snitches, eh?
yeah, yeah. I remember though, like I think I spent my 3 weeks like first paychecks was basically just feeding people that were starving in the streets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
So like I have had enough food for myself, sure, but there was like no gunsmiths in the beginning, no real horse trainers and stuff like that. So it was just feeding people so they didn't starve in the street, basically.
Okay. And then Avery, we'll skip a little bit here. You get up the sheriff halfway through.
roughly, yeah, it was just after the purge night.
Yeah.
Um, which yeah, I think about June, July time. Um, Nathan was still in WSO then, and I think
Was
you'll probably agree, Nathan, from a inside perspective, it was very very messy and a lot of scrambling to try and get things actually
so
sorted.
yeah, I made sergeant in 3.0 in no 4.0, sorry, in WSO. But when I made sergeant, it was a bit. I would say command wasn't really present that much.
Yeah.
Like the only command really around was Avery, and that was not enough considering how many ADs and stuff we had. And supervisor wise, it was majority me and I think it was one more, but majority of the time was me just training all the ADs up to become deputies.
Which is not a bad thing, right? Because then, because I don't know whether it's like that now, but like I don't know how many people you have that can train, but having like, I guess you guys almost took over a law academy, right? Because the ones that like say like 10 came in, they were all trained the exact same way with the exact same stuff from like yourself, Avery, and Nathan, right? It's not like now there's like 3 people who train. There's going to be variations, right? They were all
So
must have been very similar, right?
so in the 3.0 we had like a training guide, we had deputy handbooks and stuff that we had like basically a strict this is how you train the ADs basically. But I think in the beginning of 4.0 that was scrapped completely, and we basically was supposed to just train them from what we know in the field.
Yeah, basically, so I think it was a decision by Simmons was to get rid of essentially any external paperwork, and just have like RSOPs and the penal code.
Yeah,
and that was
well,
it.
it's sort of what you want, right? You want things to be in character to as
Yeah,
much as possible. Obviously, some things can't be either mechanically or like admin level or
yeah.
whatever. But
I think there was also an issue where towards the end of 3.0, a lot of the training was just people stood in the corner of an SO whispering to each other, and that
Yeah.
was the training. They never went out and about.
oh,
So a lot
sort
of
of like bookworm shit over actually like being on scene.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of it was to try and push people away from that. So then when I came into it, I think we were in the middle of trying to make a supervisor guide, but was just a rough framework of these are the key points.
Yeah,
That you
bullet
can't
points
miss.
fill the meeting. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we've hit quite a nice balance of everything now, where it's majority is taught out on the saddle. The only bits you are taught from the book is like the things you need to know.
SRS, and SP, and basically like just the theory of things. Mostly the thing that you
Yeah,
set around with the most is when you learn how to do the paperwork
Yeah, because
and
yeah,
what else can you do,
medical.
right? Yeah, yeah. Good old
But
medical, right? Just fucking stuff fucking coffee grounds in it and just tourniquet the neck, right?
a little bit more, but basic that, yeah.
So then
But
4.0 for Nathan, right? Like obviously, we'll go on to the slump. The slump happens and it is what it is. What's 4.0 like for Nathan? Like, on his
in the
personal
beginning,
level and
it was fun in the beginning, right? Really enjoyed it. That's actually also when Nathan decided to, I want to move up the ranks. Like in the beginning, Nathan was just, I gonna stay as senior deputy. I just here for the deputy shit, right? Just to work. But around I think this is when it's still before the slump, but it was on the way to the slump, maybe so to say. Uh, when I made corporal, and that's when I started, training people,
yeah.
because I thought there was not enough supervisors around for training all the ADs we had. But I really enjoyed the time in the beginning of 4.0. But then when I made sergeant, I got a bit frustrated because there was, like I said, no command
Yeah.
around. And then when command finally
Sort of
got back
rebuilt.
around,
Yeah.
well, it got back around, I was so burnt out from having to do basically stuff that a sergeant wasn't supposed to do. I had to deal with basically everything because when there was command around, and I couldn't even do what command is supposed to do because I don't have the rank or authority for it. So I mean, I know a lot of times I went to Avery and like had to him to do it when he woke up. But I left law actually in 4.0 for
I forgot about
Wait, Nathan hung up the badge?
yeah, he had out to bad. It was out of frustration because the commands didn't work. Like the command
Yeah.
structure didn't work.
Which at the end of
And
the day, yes, it's an OC issue, right? But it's still
yeah,
RP, right?
yeah. So out of frustration and basically needing a break from law. And I think this was it was after Nathan got married, I believe as well, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. Was it before?
And what was that like? What was that like? Sort of like in character from a family point of view, right? So okay. Well, what did Nathan do first of all? Whenever he hung up his badge,
Majority of the time was he basically just fished. To be honest, maybe fished hunting, hanged around, talked with people, bought
he
horses.
basically fucking chilled out. Is basically what happened.
Yeah, basically just chill the fuck out. I did take a little break from roleplay as well at the time. Like I wasn't on as much as I had been.
Yeah. And then you
Uh,
decided that he was going to get married, right?
I don't remember if it was before or after I quit law. I don't really remember
Can't
when
remember
it
because you
happened.
never had a
We
ceremony
didn't
or
have a
anything, did
yeah,
you?
we didn't have the wedding. We were constantly planning it, but because of stuff getting in the way, we never really had the ceremony. So we had the paperwork done, but not actually
Ah, okay. So
all the
shotgun wedding then.
basically, yeah,
Go and see Pumpkin, get the paperwork done.
basically. Uh, so that's it, and it was more of a they didn't really date before either they got married. They was just, let's get married. Okay, married.
Well, that's pretty much how it would have went back then.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir, can I marry your wife? Yes, done. 18 kids later.
But then yeah, I came back. I would say there was after the purge. Avery had become sheriff. WSO was recovering and actually was on a decent footing, I would say, at the time.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think so. I
I,
think
like
it was after the initial slump.
I,
Yeah.
like Avery and I have talked about many times. Like, WSO has always been right, in my opinion, three, and well, end of 3, 4, and 5. Right. WSO is very. It has a big foundation because those families have stuck around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas ESO, in my opinion, is very. It's just lawman A, lawman B, lawman C. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but there's no.
It's got a bigger turnover.
But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's more of like. I don't want to say that the Whitmans are the only thing about WESO, but there is the foundation there, right? Whereas ESO seems to be built up, falls down, built up, falls down. It's what I mean.
So from when I got over to ESO, the most thing from when deputies woke up that I heard was the command team isn't around. There's not the command. The people in high command wasn't around enough.
Well, no one knew that the fucking sheriff wasn't there for 6 months, right? So
Something like that. Yeah.
allegedly.
Allegedly, of course. Like I said, I never had really much experience with ESO before I moved over to ESO. As the majority of the time I had worked with WSO constantly. Like I think I went over maybe once or twice to work with ESO, but not much.
Yeah, I think I'd got you involved in one of the investigations on their side at one point
Yeah.
because when this was sort of mid 4.0, when the command on the eastern side was kind of AWOL, it very quickly became an Avery issue, because there were sergeants and deputies running around with no idea what they were doing,
Yeah.
who one knew when they needed help and were telegramming, reaching out to me to go over and help them, but also there were situations where there was stuff that just really shouldn't happen that I was picking up on because of reports and telegrams, and then had to go over and deal with them.
But that's more of a your rank can take that yes that no that, right?
Yeah, to an extent, it was just it was very obvious that they needed some help, which is then when the conversations came around about sending a couple over, and I think Nathan had been in on one of the investigations to try and see how he was in the east.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever told you that's what we were doing.
I didn't know that. No, you never told me
Oh,
that.
you're just like packed your bag. Go to Valentine. We'll see you in 6 months time.
well, well, something. But then I basically, the transfer was first me and Whitlock, Sergeant Whitlock. I was.
Yeah.
I think I
Where's
got
my
over.
fucking perimeter?
Yeah. So I think when I moved over, I was a senior deputy, but was made a corporal quite quickly when I moved over.
Yeah,
Yeah,
almost like a fast track transfer, right?
Kind of, yeah. And I think, to be honest, I think Whitlock got upset that he wasn't made command when he got over.
Right. Okay.
I think he was expecting that, as they had no active command, and I think he. I'm gonna be honest, he gave me the feeling of a tie chaser.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
yeah. Character wise, Whitlock was a massive tie chaser.
But then, I think it was after a shootout or something like that. He made his character got sick or something, and the air in the west was better for him, so he transferred back to WSO, and that's when Dunn come over, Sergeant Dunn.
Oh,
came over
Rand
to-
Dunn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Funny part is a deputy that I spent a lot of time training up.
Wasn't he also mildly corrupt?
Dunn, no, Dunn
No?
has never been corrupt. No,
No, you're thinking Ryan Walker.
Walker. Yeah.
Yeah, he got hung at end 3.0.
3.0. Yeah.
So, but Dunn made lieutenant after maybe 2 weeks in ESO, I believe.
Yeah.
And I was
Very
made a
quick.
sergeant just to help, so we could help him do recruitment and training and stuff.
But
Wasn't really any people to recruit and train because solo population at the time.
Yeah, and I think also, like, time is a very weird thing in RP, and I don't think, especially with you guys with like law, right? You know, if someone like gets promoted like in 7 days, but it took you 12 days, you shouldn't really look at that there because it's playtime and like it's a bit weird, right? You can't just be like I've been here for 3 weeks, but you might have only been here for 6 hours.
Yeah,
You know,
it's why. Yeah,
our
when we're
RP
talking
RP
about
time frames are very very weird. Like the year is about the only steady thing. You know, everything else
So,
is very all over the place.
yeah, that
right
was
now,
one of the things I had to deal with in 4.0 because 3.0 WSO was very much you get promoted based on who you know and
Yeah.
how long you've been signed up for, essentially,
Yeah.
like day wise. Which, like you've just said, someone could have been on the books for 2 months and sat on a porch for 1.5 of us and not really done anything, whereas someone could have been around for 3 weeks and like been a master of everything and responded to every type of call, written investigation files, everything. So one of my big things was trying to move promotions to just be on merit and not look at time whatsoever.
Which you have to, because RP is so all over the place, right? Like,
Yeah.
criminals get sent away for months, which is minutes, and then there's years, and then there's there's the end game day, and then there's the real day, and then there's the it's world time zones, and time is always a mess in RP.
Yeah.
So you're over in ESO. You've snubbed Whitlock. He's went back to WSO. How did you find? Well, how did your character find the East, or was it just business as usual for you? And how did you find the East? Because obviously your character's never been East before, right? For that sort of extended period of time, right?
No, in the beginning it was very, very different, but it was also very, very free. As we got over there, was majority me and Dan around. The TJ was around a bit, but not as much as me and Dan was. So it was a lot more of could let go of the race. It was not having to always have someone look over your shoulder how you do shit, right?
Yeah.
Dad wasn't watching him anymore.
Basically, it was like this is, I think, when Nathan started going back to be a little bit more how he was before.
Well, see, this is the thing. You're going to say aggressive there, but I would say, right, over the years that ESO has been the more, and I know we joke about this, right, but they've been the more gang orientated temperament, right, over WSO.
From my time 2.0 as well, I would say yes to that when I was a criminal.
But so do you guys think that's because WSO is and has been notoriously family law orientated versus ESO's sort of like pickup gang orientated, right?
I think so. I think that's a big part to it. That's because Marcus de Graaf, for example, he run a lot, and he's more strict, I would say, than any ESO command that I have ever encountered been.
Yeah.
Yeah, WSO's got a history of being very regimented.
Yeah.
Majority of 4.0, it went out the window because Simmons didn't want that kind of style. Avery had a weird mesh of it with what it was, but didn't want to go too in depth on it. But I think discipline has always felt more serious on WSO side. Like if you fuck up, you fuck up.
Yeah. But do you not also think that the type of criminals that you deal with dictates the type of law that you are to a degree? Like the East has, and I'm pretty sure the balance, it's a bit more balanced in 5, right? With like sort of, but East always has more crimes, right?
Yeah, it have had for a majority of time, like
but you'll also find you'll probably get more aggressive crimes because of the certain, like, the things you can do in the East versus the things you can do in the West, right?
That is a big part, I think, of it. That they're more prone to shoot because certain things are more valuable to them.
Yeah.
But for example, like when it comes to grave robberies and people shoot, I don't understand why they shoot.
This is one of my pet peeves, right? Out of character and in character. Like you're gonna lose a $300 gun for a $6 fucking grave robbing. It just
basically.
Plus your time and your fine, and just fucking.
It's just gonna make it worse for yourself.
Yeah,
really.
yeah. Just fucking either talk your way out of it or just fucking put your hands up and be like, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know how ESO was before I got into USO exactly, but for me as Nathan, if you give me a believable story and like you try to talk your way to shit, out of 10 times, I would let you go.
Yeah. Well, I told Avery this in 4.0, whenever I was grave robbing and outside Saint Denis, I was fully, full of swamp gear, right? And Law showed up, and I put on my best Mexican accent, said that I was burying my friend. He liked oranges at the orange house. Didn't even stop the animation. I just kept fucking digging, and these two guys were like, "Ah, okay," and then fucking just left me. But they were probably surprised that they didn't get shot because that's the East, you know.
It was very very common that you got shot uh, for grave robberies. Even when I went over, like when we grave robbery, I don't know how many shootouts I got over just for grave robberies. It's an insane amount.
Because it's
I
just
think it sometimes depends on the mindset for crims as well, just in general. Because like start of 5.0, Avery got shot quite a few times for graves in like Blackwater, where
but
I still remember
very very different animal grave robbing. Now it's not, you know.
yeah, you have a set objective kind of
Yes,
thing.
yeah.
But like I remember I won't say who it was because obviously it's still going on, but someone I'd never met before later turns out to be quite a big name. And we were mid believing a story. It was a man and a woman. The woman was telling us something. I think we countered one argument, and then the guy just started blasting, and it was just mental.
Yeah, yeah, on graves as well, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, so law is what it is in 4.0. I'm trying to think. Investigation wise, Nathan, 4.0, anything that caught your eye that you're a part of, or
So here's the thing, like I have never really been part of many investigations with Nathan because me personally,
just a ping chaser,
really,
Avery? You've spawned us ping chaser.
basically, I love the going out and like talking with people. I do like that, but I've never been really much for.
I think it's the
Uh,
paperwork side of it, isn't it?
Partly, yeah.
Well,
I'm
just
extremely.
do what Avery does and get shot first, and then there's no paperwork to be done, right?
It is paperwork, but I am dyslexic as fuck. So like, I have to use when I write reports, I use like words and stuff, and then have spelling programs in the background to like help me correct my spelling and shit.
Yeah.
So when it comes to like too much paperwork, it takes time for me to go through them fully.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Um, so that's really what puts off that amount of paperwork. I don't mind doing the paperwork. It's just that
It takes you time, right?
it takes a long time to get the. For example, if Avery like would write a report, I would maybe take twice as long to make it done.
Yeah.
And that is if I wanted to, be correct spelling. I could write it up fast, but the spelling would be horrendous, and the wording might not be grammarly correct.
And you'll probably call yourself Nathaniel Whitman.
Oh, yeah. It reminds me of the poster, one of the posters recently that says Nathaniel Whitman. I was like, who the fuck's Nathaniel Whitman?
Yeah, we always kind of said like, oh shit, this is Nathaniel. We need to capture him. He's impersonating a lawman.
And then for the Whitmans in 4.0, how was give us both your point of views of the Whitmans, because there's Avery, there's Edda, and then there's Sonny, Rosemary, and Nathan. Nathan's now married. Then who else? Who else heard the horn of Gondor and fucking answered the
we had
call?
we had Elizabeth Holiday as well. We'd been talking about adopting her since 3.0, but never did.
Ah, she's
Funnily enough,
dead.
Nathan's
She's
other
dead.
character.
She
He's
died.
dead now, but
But that happened while she was our
Yes.
daughter. So that was a whole thing where we couldn't be involved in it. I think we had some big family RP around essentially retconning Rose to be like Avery's birth child.
But I guess so the slow period allowed this, right? Because
Yeah,
there
that
was
for the
time to be
benefit of it
like,
for us.
Avery's gone to do a shift, Nathan's gone to do a shift, right, or fish or whatever, right? And it allowed that sort of RP of like, putting more detail into the family lore to a degree, right?
Yeah, basically we started. I had to start dropping hints to it as Avery. I think it was when the bridges were still around, because I remember there's a clip somewhere of Palmer, of me getting kicked by a horse, and then Palmer screaming, "Nathan, your dad."
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Yeah,
Cinematic.
and that was around the same time we started dropping hints to it. But then when it got really quiet is when we managed to actually, have long enough to actually go through with it, because it were some quite
So-
heavy shit, like Avery had a heart attack and stuff because of it.
So before like I went to ESO, right? Shit still like happening constantly. Felt like with love, we had so much shit going on. There were a few days when nothing, but then all of a sudden like everything just exploded.
Yeah.
Sadly, we're not enough. I don't think we really had bank robberies in 4.0. I think there was some
No.
problem with that.
No, there was nothing beyond stores.
So it's most of us steals or store robberies or gangs doing stupid shit.
Yeah, standard.
But I mean, it was still fun, right? We still have a good time most of the time. And of course, then I took my break, came back as law. And when I came back to law, I wasn't really. I wouldn't say that Nathan was on me myself wasn't as serious with law as I was before. I was more like just there.
But do you think that's you yourself, the player, reacting to the population and
I
the
think it was
pace,
more.
right?
It was more. That I really didn't have that motivation still at law at the time, but I needed something to do really.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why but I wasn't really that interested in
And Nathan's married at this time as well, right? To
Katarina.
Katarina, yeah.
Yeah, at this time Katarina wasn't around as much because she had started on ERX playing there because population limits and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah, of course, yeah.
Um,
Did Avery, was there any other random port calls?
No, I think we joked about it, but I did quite a bit of research at the time, when we were on about all the kids, as to mainly so we didn't get shit for how many of us there were, which didn't end up well. As to what the average family size was for like English people or people settling in America then, and it was 4 kids.
Oh, so
And
you
we
hit the
were,
quota. You hit the
we were,
quota, yeah.
yeah, we were at 4 kids, so we're like, right, done. And Etta doesn't want to do pregnancy RP,
Yeah.
and there's only so many times you can retcon stuff without it just
Yeah.
being
Just
very
you're just
questionable.
brute forcing it at that point, then. Yeah.
Yeah, so we were kind of like, right, Avery's old. He's the sheriff. He's the wizened guy. He's now he is just law. And then that's when it opened up for all the kids having kids. Sonny had Jasmine at the end of 3.0, but Jasmine wasn't really around in 4.0. She was a little bit, but not fully dived in as she were in 5.
Yeah.
Again, I think because of player base, really. And then in the gap of 4 and 5 is when Nathan and Kat decided to have kids, and Rose.
well,
End of 4 is when Rose stole Liz.
Yeah, on a extended borrowing of a child.
Yeah.
that was very confusing in the beginning. Like I remember Sunday coming into town and saying there is a baby at the house. I was like, what? What baby?
Yeah, so even out of character, that was confusing, because as we know, Rose, or the person who plays Rose, likes to keep things stum, and just lets things be kind of chaotic.
Yeah.
So we'd obviously discussed a lot out of character the reveal of Rose being Effie, which is Avery's first child. Come up with plans. I made like news articles from when Avery was younger, stuff like that, like Yorkshire Times posts and things like that.
Yeah.
And then
Serial slut has a lot of kids.
Rose was on a big LOA from law, and just wasn't really on the server too much. Used that as a way for her to go back to England and basically investigate all this stuff to try and help Avery out. Which is when she found out she was the firstborn. And like one of the days she came back, we all had a night up at the old family home we used to have up in Little Creek. Rose logged out and went to bed. We all walked inside and there was just a pram with a baby in it, with no context as to who this baby was or who'd left it there.
So obviously that sort of half of 4.0 was like, you know, Carter, Gracie, and Rosie, and, you know, mildly torturing some people, and, you know,
Yeah.
Bobby Burke's head exploding, and, you know. But I do remember being around Blackwater a few times and seeing Rose with the fucking tag, like, you know, child strapped to chest and stuff like that. There's like, what the fuck? Why the fuck is Rose? We got a fucking kid.
Yeah, it's quite an interesting one as well, because obviously character-wise, Rose,
Oh,
I think she's getting more maternal, but she never really was to start with.
yeah.
So that tag baby had to involve the entire family.
Yeah, I don't remember like everyone had to babysit that baby because Rose is off doing some other shit.
Yeah,
or she just leave it somewhere.
And then I've just glanced at the chat there. Yeah, fucking Dickie Darnell and Elsie robbed the house, and there was just a baby in it. I remember them saying to us in character.
I don't think that was ours. I think that was ours.
Was it? Okay. Well, there was.
Yeah.
They just broke into the house. There's a fucking kid there on its own.
It could have been. Yeah, sure.
Oh, right, hold on. Just give we pause a second, guys. Hold on. Chat, we'll be back in a little bit. All right, chat. Whilst they're taking a little break, you know, not now, but in a little bit, we'll get some questions from chat. Don't post them yet. You know, so if you're gonna have any questions for Nathan or Avery, you know, think of them. Asking some questions whenever they get back.
I'm back.
Avery, give me a 1, 2, 3, and we'll see if chat can say if audio's okay.
1, 2, 3. Ooh, banana.
Okay, we're good. All right. Well, whilst Nathan's also, you know, family trait pea bladder, right? So, yeah, Rosemary just, you know, borrows a child, and then you guys are obviously, I mean, you got to roll with it, right? It is what it is. What are you gonna do? Blanket, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So I think everyone kind of, once we'd got the content.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah. Okay, we're good. We're continuing on. Go on, Avery.
There was some quite serious RP with it the first day when no one actually knew who it was, because obviously it's Avery and Etta's house. We'd found a baby. Parental instincts kick in. You try and keep it alive.
Tell me this here. Did Etta look at Avery like something you want to explain? Was it one of those ones, or?
I think she just kind of said, "Oh, not another one," and then walked away. Sonny, I remember the night that it happened, tried to steal the baby and adopt it as her own. Weirdly, Annie Gibson and Grady were both there as well. And we, because it was the time when everyone was, if you were around, you were together, kind of thing.
Yes, yeah. Small pockets.
And we we went out, and there was a goat that spawned on the house that we had. It was the little ranch house up in Little Creek, that like leaning one. And I remember we had a whole thing where me and Annie went out and tried to milk this goat to give the baby some milk. And yeah, there was Avery sleeping, trying to protect the baby until we find out what's going on, that kind of stuff.
But during this year, Rosemary had just pissed off, right?
She'd literally just logged out. And then I remember the next day, I just happened to log in at the same time as it. Like there was no planning or anything, but I logged in, and saw Rose walking out of the house at the same time as me. I just walked out and just did the stance where you put your hands on your hips and just stared at her.
Oh
It's like,
yeah.
you got something to tell us? And then from there, it kind of all just played out as normal with babies, where family are all trying to look after her.
Yeah.
Avery didn't really do too much with her after, because that period of 4.0, I didn't really get a chance to be off duty at any point.
Yeah, you sort of had to be on duty, right?
Yeah.
Was it the same for you, Nathan, as well? Sort of end of
Uh,
4.0?
as a before I went to ESO, I kind of spent more time off duty than I did on duty certain days.
Yeah, I think you were better at taking personal time.
So yeah, so I did babysit the baby Liz here and there, so Rose could go on duty and people could do whatever they want.
We gave it to Etta and Etta fed it Sam.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I remember on the Discord all the photographs of like Ada holding the baby like upside down and like hanging out off
Dropping
bridges and
food on
stuff.
its
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so we're getting near the end of 4.0 and there's
that's
now
roughly when the transfer opened. I think I think I was in ESO for like 2 months before the wipe.
Longer than that. It was about
Was
3 or
it?
4, I think. Yeah.
Was it? I don't think it was that long.
No, it definitely was.
Oh damn. Okay. Fair enough.
and then 4.0 sort of rolls to a close, right? Like we're waiting for a revamp and then we get hit with like a full rework, right? 5.0.
Yeah.
The year gap, right? Which I'll be real, and it includes me. A lot of people don't care about it, right? You sort of forget that it happened, type of thing. But
Yeah.
it did let you guys expand the weapons again, right?
Yeah, so at this time, me and Kat had actually talked about having kids before. We even know five was a thing that was coming, right? We just played with the idea, but we hadn't really decided if we're gonna go through with it. And Kat was a bit hesitant with the pregnancy role play and all that because she didn't want to take time off work and stuff like that.
Because what's the rules? What's the rules on getting the bun in the oven? It's 5 weeks of
something like that. Yeah, like I think like in the beginning it's not work, but when you actually start showing,
yeah,
the
like
bump
very
is when
very like obviously she's law, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So can't be on duty. You can't. You gotta fully fear for your life. There's it's like 6 weeks, right, worth of RP.
Basically of doing that.
That's a fucking month and a half. That's
Yeah.
And then there's overtime after where you've got to account for this tag baby whenever you're trying to clock in as well.
So during this time frame, we decided, fuck it, let's just say that we had a baby. It's during that time, and now Nathan has 2 kids.
Well, there's a
Well,
second
one of
one.
them's active in server.
Yeah,
Well,
only
okay.
one is
Well, this is something I can ask you because again, like it's nothing that I've ever used before. Did you and Katarina use the Seeking, right? The Seeking channel to find someone to play Elizabeth,
so
right? Or not Elizabeth.
no,
Sorry, fucking what's your kids called again? There's so many women's.
Natalia and Avery Jr.
Avery Junior. Yeah, I did not
AJ.
laugh there. I didn't laugh there at all. Okay.
No, of course not.
So how did that go about? Were they people you knew, or were they randoms that applied, or
Reese that now plays, Natalia is
yes,
a friend with Kat, like out of character. They're known each other
yeah,
for long.
Crazy
and,
Reese, yeah.
So she plays Natalia, the daughter. So that's kind of how that happened. With AJ, I don't think we actually have found anyone to play him yet. To be honest,
Does it worry you? Does it? Here's the thing, right? Does it worry you that it's someone that you sort of know in another character and you don't want to say no, or are you worried that they just are complete penis and just fuck up the character? Yeah,
it's more the worry of how they are like acting overall in the community or like the character they play in. A little bit worried on who they appear to be more than just saying no because I know the main character or something like that, right? It's also me and Kat, of course, have to agree on do we think this person would fit to play our character's son.
because they sort of. So obviously, you can't just like gang recruit people in the Seeking
No.
channel. But it's a little bit gray. Well, is it gray area? It's just allowed on the it seems to be on the law side of things, right? Where without a doubt, if you're making a character to fill, say, your guy's son, fucking every heart attack waiting to happen, Junior, right? um, it comes with like these sort of like base things of like you can't be Crim because it wouldn't make
Well,
sense, right?
so we haven't actually said that you can't be a criminal as playing our kid, but
They would have
you
to
will
work
have
into it, right? It wouldn't be like you couldn't just like make the character
and
be
start
18
being a
years
crim
old.
right away.
Yeah, yeah,
No, you have to make it happen through role play, right? It has to be a proper reason on why you would go crim when your parents are basically both in law.
yeah. Like one of the heaviest government families on the server, right? It's
Exactly.
yeah.
So
So
like we don't mind them being criminals, but they have to role play it in like make a good reason as why they would be criminals.
fucking Avery's gonna have a second heart attack.
So I'll perma Avery and play Edge.
Play no, that's against the rules. You can't play your own children.
He's
It's
not
my
playing his own.
grandchild.
He's a grandchild. It's different.
Also, technically, you can as long as you're not playing the parent anymore. Because there's been other law families who have played their own children, and we have raised many questions about it.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, maybe I shouldn't talk about it. I'll say nothing about that. You know what I'm like? I'm a bit too blunt. Okay, so yeah. Your worry is this person a good fit? Like that's the bottom
Yeah,
line, right?
that's the bottom line.
And have you like what do you okay? Say I come up to you and I say, Nathan, I wouldn't mind playing your son. I want to get into the law. Like what are you and Katarina sort of like?
It's really comes down to chemistry. We sit down and talk with you, like in a Discord call or something like that. See like
Yeah.
if you play the character, like this is kind of how our family is built up, and what will you do if you have the character, basic kind of thing. And like I said, we don't mind you playing making it a criminal as long as you have a reason to why they would be a criminal. So it's really just the chemistry fit more than actually saying just no. So
Yeah.
and
And are you worried about telling somebody no? Is that a thing that
no.
you're
If they don't want to, I say fucking straight no. So I have no
do you
reservation
do
when it
you
comes to
do you
that.
guys do you guys think that that is an issue that some people have when they use a second channel where they don't want to hurt anybody's feelings and then because I think that is a fear, right? Like I look at the second channel and like for like the government families, it's sort of like don't do crime, you know you can
Hmm.
be like lawyer, doctor, you know you're gonna be that side of the fence, right?
I think that it's some people are worried, especially when it comes to like people that let's say that they have known the character for a while and don't really get along with their character, but they still have like a big impact of their character's life, so to say.
Yeah,
You might be afraid to say no to that, but like it's hard to say because everyone is different. Like I am not afraid to say no. I say no if I want to. Like it's
yeah.
no
And
biggie for
I
me.
guess you're also worried that they get bored and then they sort of don't play the character,
Yes,
and it's a living member of the family, but it's dead, right? Like it's
yeah. Like you go on like okay, well, where's my son, for example? He hasn't been around for like 3 months, kind of thing.
yeah,
So what I really want is someone that is actually, I don't expect it to be the main character, but I want them to at least be around a bit, so you can do like family activities or something.
I think that's where it comes in, where people can, people could, in theory, recast the, if it's a
see. Here's
if
the
it's
thing.
Harry.
I was gonna bring this up. I think look if I'm playing one of Avery's kids and I get banned, right? That's like what do you say? The character's just fucked off. Like why not recast? What's the issue with it, right?
Well, that's what happened with I don't know if they'll ban, but that's what happened with the G1 his kids. The original player wasn't around, and then they recast her. But that's the only time I've ever heard of anyone doing it. And
Yeah.
I don't think people should be afraid of it if it's a character fitting in with existing stories.
No,
If it's
sure.
people's main, then fair.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Like I'm not afraid to recast. It's just I would prefer if it was someone sticking through with the character, so to say.
Yeah. So you're looking. So currently, you and Natalia, right, are looking for
No,
someone to play.
Katarina.
Katarina are looking for someone to play the son.
Yes.
Okay. No, don't worry. I'm not going to apply. So. Okay. And then obviously for the Whitmans, you've got someone playing Elizabeth now.
Yes.
Who is now? I'm sure a certain someone in chat's going to be screaming right now. She seems to be going like a very interesting couple of months from what I've seen. So it's a bit interesting.
So from what I understand is that when Rosemary casted her, Rosemary didn't tell really much about the Whitmans.
Didn't tell her anything. She didn't even know I was in law.
So like when Liz came in, no idea at all. And I think the first day like she got off the train, she got beaten up by the Bennets.
Yes, yeah, I heard that happened. Yeah.
Like she didn't really know much really, and she got friendly with some less savory characters. That law like Whitmans especially wouldn't really be friends with.
What are you trying to insinuate there, Nathan? There's the good people everywhere. But isn't there something exciting about that there, where they don't? Well, I mean, like they should know their own family, but they shouldn't know anybody else, right?
Exactly.
I'm assuming the person who's playing this character is very fresh to.
She is very fresh to
Red. Before.
Yeah, she's completely new to Redem.
Yeah, but that's good, right? That's a little bit of spice in the mix, right?
To be honest, like she that plays Liz is she's very sweet, and I got along quite well with her. I think she hasn't spent as much time with you, Avery. I don't believe.
I've met her 3 times in character.
Yeah.
She the player's not. She's Oceanic, right?
So what?
She's like Australian, no? Or because I see her very early in the server, in Sydney.
No, she is. I believe she lives in China at the moment.
Ah, okay. So her time zones are all fucked up.
Studying or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just Carter's spoken to her a few times.
No
comment.
Character and out of character.
No comment.
Yeah, she's trying her best really to like fit in and figure out how to play Elise still. Like she's still like
that's good. There are no mistakes. This is the thing about RP, right? If her character fucks up, well, look, she's fucked up then. Exactly. Actions have consequences, and it is what it is, right?
I've told him many times not to overthink things. She tends to do that a lot. But I think she's on a good way to become decent at what she's doing. So.
And then Avery, from your and Edda's point of view, right? Did you expect the Whitmans to be at grandparents level?
No, we didn't originally. We didn't even expect the Whitmans to have a family. Etta wasn't even a Whitman to start with. She was Grey, I think was the surname.
Yeah. Greta Grey. Yeah.
And then we got married just because it made more sense in RP.
She got didn't she was Henrietta Goldman for a bit as well, wasn't she? And when she got adopted by Joseph.
But originally, I had a rule that I wasn't gonna marry her in RP until I'd proposed in real life, because it just felt weird calling her my wife when at some point she will be. And then we just did away with that because it made no sense. RP just in that day and age having a girlfriend for that long.
Well, it wouldn't even have been. It would have been a bit of looking at each other, look at our ankles, and then go speak to your dad about marrying her, right?
Straight into marriage. Yeah. You can have 4 goats for a kind of thing.
Well, 3.5. Let's be,
Yeah, but yeah, and then I think Rose kind of came naturally because it was around the time everything went on with Ravens, and then we've just kind of rolled with it since then. We've always had this thing that I think our characters we've never wanted to be like main character energy or anything. We're happy to be fillers and just go along with whatever happens. And it just happens that we've picked other people like that up along the way. Like I said with Nathan, I think it was more just to give him something to do and it made sense. And then obviously we can't limit their RP, so this Sonny wants kids, Nathan wants kids.
This is the thing. Yeah, this is the thing, right? You and Edda are now literally along for the ride, right? Because
we've lost control of the reins.
Yeah, with the way time works in RP again, like these grandkids could pop a few sprogs out, right?
Yeah, hopefully they wait until potentially 6.0 so I can age Avery up again. So
Yeah, I need to age Nathan up a bit and match it with Avery somehow.
Well, see,
Because
you should do Avery's hair that he has now, right? And then he can grey up a little bit more. So there's the Whitman stage, right?
yeah, so I don't remember exactly how old you made Avery right now.
well, I think he's meant to be 45 or something, or 40,
And
40 late
Nathan is
40s.
supposed to be like 16 years older, 15 years younger, or something.
But
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter, right?
No, it doesn't.
It also doesn't matter because Avery's ID says he's minus 51. Because
Yeah, and Nathan says he's 19, so
Yeah.
Oh god.
But yeah, it's one of those that you just kind of go with, and if someone's a good RP, they won't question it.
No. It's one of those. In my opinion, it's one of those things where you gloss over it or don't care. It's a non-RP thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Plus, I think for both of us now, we've had the characters long enough and been active enough that it makes sense where we are.
So for me, right, Nathan was never meant to be my main character to play. My plan was always to go, back to Ryan Goldman and do something with him. But I just got stuck playing Nathan a lot more and enjoyed it a little bit more. So I decided, fuck, I'm gonna get rid of Ryan now and just got playing Nathan.
Yeah.
And then killed Ryan, and then
Yeah.
Avery got banned from it all.
That was an interesting time.
Okay, so from the Whitmans, and we're sort of at the end of 4.0, moving into 5, right? We've got Avery and Etta. We've got Rosemary.
Do you want me to send you our family tree?
Yeah, we've got Rosemary, Sunny. So Rosemary stole a kid. Sunny had a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Who the fuck's Sunny's kid? I'm confused again.
Jasmine,
right? Who is Law or Doctor?
She's Law.
Law. Okay, and then Nathan. So okay, hold on. Rosemary stole a kid. Sunny had a kid. Law. Elizabeth. Law. You have Junior, who is still to be filled.
Yes.
Who will probably go Law, let's be honest, right? I think it's
a big chance that will happen.
Yeah, and then you have the daughter, who is Katerina?
Natalia.
Natalia, right?
Yeah.
Who is Law?
No, she's not Law.
Doctor?
No, she's just a civ.
Oh.
She's just a civilian, yeah.
I think she does like jarred goods and stuff at the minute.
Yeah, she like farm and do like odd jobs here and there.
Okay, but not crime.
Not crime, no.
Yet. Anyway, and like, so, and again, you're sort of into the same position that Avery's in, Nathan, where like your kids could decide to do relationship RP and then or borrow a kid like their auntie Rosemary, right?
Yeah.
Where then you don't have the reins anymore, right, on who your family tree goes down to.
Exactly. Yeah. No, that's not my control anymore now.
But it's a good feeling, right? Or is it like, oh shit?
I mean, it is interesting, I would say, because who is going to come next, So I don't think have really thought too much about it.
Nathan Junior could happen, right?
Oh yeah, it could. But I don't think we have thought that far yet. Like for example, Nathan is still technically quite young, so.
Oh, so there could be more. There could be more Nathan children then.
It's possible.
Hey, just roll it. Just go sail around the world for a while. Just do an Avery.
Listen, Avery had reason law-wise. He had a first marriage and everything.
Yeah. Nathan would never be unfaithful to Katarina, though. He's extremely loyal to her.
He's whipped. It's okay to say there.
He's
Avery's the exact same.
Yeah, he's whipped. Yeah.
Behind every strong Whitman man, there's a aggressive little woman, right? So
emphasis on aggressive. Well, Katarina's massive. She's not little.
Yeah, no. I think she's like supposed to be taller than Nathan, even.
Yeah.
Taller than Avery.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll show this to the chat later on. Speaking quickly there of IDs, right? You were saying that Avery is like minus 50 years old.
51, yeah.
A certain criminal showed me a lawman's ID badge who said that he was like 6'11" or something like that. There, I was like, well, that's taller than me, so I doubt that very much. some crazy shit in IDs out there. Okay, right. Look, so 4.0 ends. Nathan, your favorite scene, like law scene of 4.0?
In 4.0, ooh, I don't know actually. Huh. Um, I can't say. I don't know.
Favorite scene then, and of no law, no law scene.
Think
Random
my
Rosemary Childs all of a sudden stuff.
actually, my favorite scene actually got me banned.
Oh.
I
So
remember this.
so it's like it was fun for me, but it was kind of maybe not fun for the ones involved. So
Go on. No, you can't tease. Go on.
Yeah,
I mean,
you need to tell them now.
it's happened, right? So yeah.
okay, yeah. So basically, me and a couple of deputies stand outside a doctor's office talking with doctors. When I see in like the in the to the side, in what's it called, the side of my eyes, um, like just yeah, personal, yeah, just like exactly just within view, basically. A wagon pulling up with people and masks on, right, for towards the general store.
Sorry, is this in Blackwater or?
This is a Blackwater, yes.
Okay, yeah.
And before they even get ready, I rush over there and start engaging right away. Like put your hands up, the sheriff's office and stuff.
Nathan, I think I seen this. I think I watched
Yeah,
this. I think I
yeah,
watched this.
and
You went straight into the store and they hadn't even started.
no,
Yeah.
not yet not. So basically, and at this time, like the suspect have no like active threat on the hostage, right? They don't even some of them don't even have their guns out.
Yes,
Uh,
the mechanical part of the scene hasn't even started yet.
basically, and I basically just tell them like put your hands up, right? It's don't do anything
I'm
stupid,
pretty
basically.
sure I was over in Blackwater Saloon and watched this happen.
So and then one of the guys that was driving the wagons with the mask on jumped up right behind me and started aiming his gun, and I just like pistol whipped the fuck out of him.
Yeah, I was there. I watched that from Blackwater Saloon.
uh, and then continue,
Jumping the gun a little bit there, Nathan, in that one.
yeah, a little bit, yeah. So anyway,
There's an even juicier bit of tea about this for our
oh yeah,
once
it's gonna
Nathan's
do
finished.
even worse.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh God.
so
Okay.
anyway, and then they start like they said like, oh, we're gonna rob the store, and I said, no, you're not. So basically, still have my gun, stayed pointing the guy's face that was inside, and like, okay, then we're gonna kill the hostage. I said no, and I shot him in the face, and then I went in and shot the
Yeah.
other guy. And then with the third one, I just said, just put your hand up, give up, and she did.
And then it turns out the main guy leading it was the alt of an ESO lawman who'd been transferred to WSO.
Yep.
Oh,
And
that's
a big fight broke out in
Yeah.
WSO chat OC. To be fair, like I didn't really take much part in that.
yeah. You're
that
just
battle.
fucking chilling. And just 1v3 these guys.
um, basically, so like I said, the guy that was the lead guy that I was talking to, and
Oh, it got a little
we
bit heated. Did it?
oh yes,
Not
so
very heated.
so basically because of this was the time with McGee's going on, and apparently according to at
Oh,
least to
4.0 McGee's. Okay,
so
yeah.
according to I think it was Mafia, that WSO was too aggressive at the time, because when we
Okay.
got McGee, because it makes sense for us to be aggressive against the Marquis because they are prone to shooting deputy almost constantly at the time. Like
Yes.
they
Yeah.
always shot. Like it would make like lore wise, that we're not taking any chances with these guys. So we I think Law was a bit aggressive to them, but not to the
That's
point
the
where
ESO, Avery. That's the ESO sipping in them. Yeah.
no, but like I was saying, like I don't think we were that aggressive. At least I haven't been involved in many scenes with Wagi by WSO
We weren't. Some
starting
members of
aggressive.
WSO at the time were.
I like I
Who were
said,
no longer around.
I wasn't really involved when they were too aggressive, really.
Okay.
To them.
Well, look, mistakes happen, right? Like you've learned from your mistake, right?
So so the only reason I really got banned was not because I shot them or things like that. It was because I didn't let the role play out.
The scene,
Like
yeah,
sort of,
yes,
that
yeah.
that was the
Like
reason I got banned for it.
we've all been told that. Like I've been banned for a day for blowing someone's head off straight away, but it happens, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. But then it broke out in with that announcement that was put in our law chat. He basically posted that video in and like said, use that as an example for alarm and aggressiveness, and basically everyone else in WSO basically shoot his head off.
yeah. Anyway, right?
It was a good to see this. I was like, they have my back. I
No.
love this.
Yeah.
He's learned his lesson, but it's his favorite scene.
Yeah, I learned my lesson. But
Hey,
it's still my
look,
favorite.
it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, 5.0, and we'll also talk a bit about like your guys' opinion on crims currently in 5.0 and mechanics and whatever. 5.0, we're 1901, right? You've got a couple of kids now. How was the start of 5.0 law for you guys? Because obviously Nathan's now established ESO, right? Like you're mid-ranked.
I became a lieutenant in the start of 5.0.
Yeah, and you're currently one below undersheriff, right?
I'm captain at the moment.
Okay. And then obviously, old man Rivers over here still,
still the sheriff in the west.
Still the sheriff in the west.
How
was 5.0 for ESO starting, and then how was 5.0 for WSO starting?
So we got a new sheriff that has been sheriff before. Winston Maxwell and TJ took up undersheriff role, and Dunn took up undersheriff sheriff role. We started, of course, with trying to rebuild the department because they were very
hiring and firing,
hiring, recruiting, and restructuring ranks and all that. It has its ups and downs. We tried as much as we can, but when people don't want to be law, it's not much we can do.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's a game, and if someone says "fuck it," what are you gonna do? Right?
Exactly. So it was. I would say it was a bumpy start, but also a good start because we had a sheriff that was around and knew what he was doing. I gotta be honest, I got a lot of free reign to do almost how I felt was right.
You're quite you're high command, right? At captain level, correct?
No, yeah, high command now.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're so from I guess from a gaming point of view, you're very active, right? You're probably more active than the sheriff under sheriff, right?
I am, yes.
Yeah.
I would say I think I'm the most active command overall. I would say.
Yeah, because from a crim point of view, right? Like Carter's obviously aware of like the sheriff under sheriff, but
yeah,
you could almost argue from like the UK storm onwards that Nathan is the face of ESO, right?
So until this point, I have been running most day-to-day like activities, like make sure that everything works day-to-day. I've been the one that most have been doing meetings with the DAs and inter department relations and stuff like that. I think I'm the most one down. Now we have another captain, thank God, that is also good what he's doing. He knows what he's doing, so that will ease up my burden quite a bit.
Is this Troy? Is Troy got promoted, right?
Yeah. And I'm gonna be honest, with him being a captain as well, it's helped a lot.
Because you're both very opposite ends of the scale time wise, right? Because obviously he's
Australian and I am.
Yeah.
So it's a high chance that there will always be a high command available, roughly. A big chance.
Which is probably good also, right, Avery, for WSO, right? If you guys don't have a captain for like the very early hours, right?
Yeah, well, we don't have a captain all a minute.
Oh well.
But it's also helped, I think, numbers wise as well, Troy going up, because it means that there's this weird psychological thing where if someone sees someone in high command clocked in, they're more likely to clock in.
Yeah.
Well, see
So
that,
the
yeah,
more people
it's,
we get like that, the less stress there is for us to cover everywhere, kind of thing.
yeah.
So we have been well, at least when I made captain, right? And before my goal has always been getting people into the department and getting people up to supervisors so they can actually train and find people to fill the ranks.
Because I feel like the start of 5.0, ESO was very NA Storm heavy,
Yes,
right? And then,
it's
yeah,
it is still NA heavy, to be honest. It's still very
really,
much
like
so.
last night,
I
um,
so
the fucking gallery, there was, you guys were all over the place.
yeah, like I'm surprised we had.
You had too many at one point, no?
Yeah, we had too many, but we had a funeral just before that happened. Actually,
Oh, the guy from the Jewel, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So we had a funeral, and I think like 10 minutes after that, everything started kicking off, and people were still on duty. So everyone like, yeah, let's fucking go. So it was good to see, right? It was really good to see.
Yeah. Because
Uh,
I remember last night I was shouting at some cunt from ESO on the roof of the bakery.
oh, I know who that was now.
he's so lucky the top door doesn't work right now. I'd have thrown him off the roof.
But yeah, no, it was. It's been good so far, right? Sure, it's. I'm gonna say this. Nathan, in my opinion, moved up the ranks too fast to where he is now.
Is that a
He was
character, like character wise? You think?
character-wise,
Okay.
character, yes, yes.
Does he think that himself, or
Yeah, Nathan, like this, like Nathan
Yeah,
thinks
he's
that's
him and Avery have had quite a few chats about it.
yeah?
yeah. So Nathan think he's been moved up too fast. That's he and especially like if it was WSO, I think it would be different because he knows that department a lot more. But
So does Nathan have is Nathan to a degree feeling the pressure in character,
he
and
does,
then
yes, he
but
does.
isn't that a good dynamic for you two where he can talk to his dad who is also the fucking sheriff.
Yeah, it's
Because
as
you guys probably rarely talk about anything other than work, right?
to be
Yeah,
honest, even since 5.0, I don't think we have. I think we have one time when both of us were off duty.
yeah, and we tried to arrange a family night, and then it never happened.
Yeah, and that's like the only time. Most of the time, other than that, is work stuff. Majority of
Well,
the time.
I feel like from obviously what I know about you guys in and out of character, like even if you guys went to a family funeral that was nothing to do with law, you'd still talk about work.
Yeah,
There's a big chance, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, and it's quite nice actually. I like, and I was really happy with seeing the numbers yesterday. So it made me glad.
Yeah. So ESO, you think is getting to a good? Would you say you guys currently are heavy on new recruits and just waiting to fill like the seniors and the sergeants, sort of like the low mid ranks, or do you think there's a good
We
spread? Or
At the moment, I think we have decent spread. I think we are more balanced in ranks than we have had before. We have a couple of new ADs. We have a couple of deputies, some senior deputies, decent amount of supervisors, to be honest, and now active command overall. So
which
it's
is mentally good for the person coming in to see that like people are around. It's like
yeah,
gangs, right? If a few of like the higher ups in like a gang is around, like the grunts will be around, if
yeah,
there's,
exactly.
because you got to fucking babysit them, right?
So my majority is like try to show face as much as possible.
Yeah.
I try to be around, and I'm trying to help my deputies as much as possible. I even started making posters for recruitment.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I might have seen a few of those. Yeah.
uh, some of them, to be honest, started after the incident with Bojack, of course. After they posted the first poster of Nathan there, I made the Punisher of Saint Denis poster. Uh, it was just to fuck with them, really. That was the only reason I made that one. And after that, I just thought, fuck it, let's actually make some good recruitment poster.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah,
And how
yeah.
have you found? How have you? Well, Avery, we'll do you quickly. Sort of, we're for the same level here. Start of 5.0 WSO, the start of 5.0 how's things on your guys' side?
I think we had quite a smooth entry to it.
Which was
because
obviously built off the back of 4.0, because
yeah, we'd had a lot of time to try and we didn't have a big department in 4.0 because player base,
but your foundation was there.
Yeah, we had people in the right ranks, and then Avery also had this whole thing where we couldn't talk about 5.0, but we could make preparations for if the department grows again, kind of thing. And I'd made like a big document about like a reform plan. So we went in with that. So it was, we started working on it in 4.0 and then just carried on in 5.0.
Yeah. Like the year gap didn't even happen. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It's a hard one to navigate because, like,
I think that
everyone had left.
Yeah, I think the best thing to do with the year gap is to just not worry about it. Yeah, yeah. I personally.
But yeah, so we went in with all that in mind, and then it was purely just trying to recruit and get people in to fill out the rest of the numbers. We had a lot of investigation stuff that had to kind of die off, but not fully. We had a lot of new stuff going on, and then obviously a week or so in, started getting pings as well for people to chase.
Yeah, because it's one thing that you and I talked about in the downtime between 4 and 5 was like the lore carries over, right? And you and I talked about this. I said like the ones that were around in 4 need to tell the ones that are new in 5, whether they're new characters or whatever, that like this person is not a good person or this person is suspected of, like because I've done it, right? Because I know they're new and they don't know Carter. Like I've fucking talked random shit to random ADs who have no idea who my character is, right?
Yeah.
And gotten information out of them that I probably shouldn't have if they knew that I was who I was, right?
Yeah.
Like Darman Armadillo, whenever I was telling that AD that fiber in your water is really good, really good.
God, I remember that. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's obviously arrest reports and that kind of paperwork all went away just because databases and stuff. But law-wise and investigation paperwork we carried over.
So there is material for them to look at if they want to, or
to an extent, we're very careful with how we use it because it's one of those that it was in theory 2 years ago. So we're kind of using it as reference points for other things. Also rank locked, because if you give that kind of information to ADs, like say someone will walk up to them, have a conversation and know everything within a week.
Yeah. But I'm assuming, and I sort of hope, right, like whether it's ESO or WSO, you guys are like, and I know they'll learn that like this is the Darnells, this is the McGee's, this is but like,
yeah.
So do you guys sort of actively, like, if you know their character is a new character to the server, whether they're an old player or not, are you guys like?
So I try and the way I do it retroactively rather than reactively rather than proactively. So I won't put someone's name out there to everyone the second I think of it, because they may it might be a character that has decided not to do crime in 5.0. But if it's someone that Darnell's, for example, or Carter, that I see walking around and I'm with a group that I know has a lot of new people in, I'll give them a quick rundown of
Well, it better be all fucking. I'm just a part-time baker these days, so
yeah, that's all I tell them. Makes
of course,
makes things. But yeah, give them like a rundown of my knowledge on that person and kind of what we suspect them of doing and what I expect to see coming from them, just so they have a bit.
Oh, see, that's good. That's good. That's good. The whole
like
they are known for, so expect.
Yeah. And like a good example, without giving too many details, is obviously all Vipers have just come back, or a good chunk of them.
Yes.
So they've been gone for, in real life, almost a year at this point. So there are a vast majority of players that don't know who they are.
Correct. Yeah.
But Avery does, and so does some of the other command members. So when we've seen them, we pull them aside and say, look, they used to do this. If we do these kind of patrols and these jobs, we'll probably see them again.
Yeah.
And yeah, Gracie down Sentinel, known to be very petty. So what?
Oh, extremely petty. And then Nathan, what about ESO? Because I would say ESO, whether they're it probably has the fresher of all the faces, even like the high command, like apart from obviously TJ and
So we have some like old deputies have returned, right? We have like Palmer, Reggie.
but they have gaps, right? Like there's
They do have gaps,
two
yeah,
3 year gaps for them sometimes, right?
but they still know about like the Darnells, for example, and stuff like that. It is the new people we try to like. I don't go out of my ways like, okay, these the ones to have to look out for, but like if I run through them, for example, Dickie or Bojack or them or Carter, even I talk with everyone in the group that I'm with, like, yeah, okay, yeah, be careful
Like
for these people. They are
like
filthy criminals.
yeah,
Hardcore.
like the night that I went up to have a little test with the the gallery, and there's like 8 law outside. 5 seconds later, oh Carter, what are you doing here, motherfucker? I live here. Funny.
I'm gonna be honest. At the point at that time, like me personally, I don't really think about Carter that much, right?
Yeah.
I know I like seen him here and there,
No,
right?
no,
But
no.
I
Yeah,
never
yeah. No, I know
really.
what you mean. Yeah, yeah.
And then like, oh Carter, hi. Like, what are you doing here? Like, it was not really like, oh, what are you doing in St. Louis? Really, it's like, what are you doing here? You know, what are you up to? But it was funny to be honest.
It was funny. It was funny. And then
Uh,
for both, so okay, so ESO's doing good.
for now, yeah, I would say that right now ESO is in a very healthy
I don't think
place.
and like I was saying to you earlier on there before we started the podcast, like tonight there I was selling, right?
Mm.
And I don't think I've seen like even 4.0 started 4.0 or 3.0, the amount of law and even like the very early storms patrols, right? Like even if it's just 2 law, like patrolling around, a little cat and mouse game, nothing is like fully free anymore. You know?
No, especially I don't know. Well, I know how WSO was back in the day, but ESO right now is that we try to be out a lot more than we are actually sitting at the pouch. Like all our supervisors and above are people that don't like sitting at the pouches. They want to be out there and patrolling and doing shit.
Yeah.
And I hope that will spread to all our lower ranked deputies as well. Of course,
Yeah.
there will be times when we have to stand on the porch, like doing paperwork or there's nothing going on, and there's just so much you can patrol before you need a break from, just riding in the saddle constantly.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we try to be out on patrol as much as possible. I mean, especially with all the fucking drying racks all over the place, like
Yeah.
we are actively looking for them.
But it's good, right? Like well, hold on, Avery, on your side, like, how would you say time wise the spread of WESO is? Is WESO still very UK heavy?
Very UK EU heavy. We've got there was a guy Archie who's come back from I think he was very early 3.0 days and he'd not been around at all since then. He actually he made an ESO deputy to try to start 4.0 and then just decided no he's going back to WSO. Um, so he's come back and he's up at command now. So we've got someone in there and he's Australian.
Okay.
He's slowly trying to get people back in that he knows have been around before. Might not need as much training, but equally just to pack out that storm. There is, as soon as it hits midnight for us, WSL loses everything. Because we've had a handful of people that come that could fill it out, but they just don't stick it out.
Yeah.
So we're
And
just trying to work with what we've got.
it's not like from a crim point of view that the NA storm is quiet, right?
No, I've been around. There's been times where I've been stuck on Avery till 2 or 3 a.m. sometimes, and stuff's still going well into the NA storm.
Yeah.
It's just it's it's the ball ache of trying to get someone hired on who needs training, but then not having people around to train them.
Yes.
Trying to do that balancing act.
Yeah.
But I think we're getting there. The NA storm we're lacking, but we're trying to match ESO with the earlier storms. And then I think it'll be a job for everyone to try and pack out that later storm then.
And then the crimes themselves, how you a big thing for me is like there's always going to be those criminals that they have the win mentality. There's no clues. It's fucking hit and dip. do it as fast as possible, get the fuck out. Like how you guys find
I would say
criminals over?
majority of the criminals are that way.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
there was I think there was an influx of scenes and longer thought out stuff earlier on, especially like with the Bennett stuff. Um, but it's kind of gone away again.
yeah,
Well, crime in general went away for we hadn't had anything other than investigation stuff for a good couple of weeks, and then obviously there's been an influx of it again last week.
I wonder what happened that there was
I wonder why.
why there's been an
Hmm.
influx of anyway and
very curious about that. You know.
But yeah, I think we do get a lot of that, and I think it's sometimes just the mentality of people who've been on, because I know there's been a lot of 5M players that have come over to try out 5.0. Obviously, everything's so much faster paced over there.
Yeah.
So that's what they're used to. So there's no fault in it. It's just maybe slow it down and adjust to Red M levels and stuff.
And then so what would you like then? Would you like sort of like I do know there is people who do leave their scenes at like their stores and their banks and stuff like that there, but do you guys want to see more detail being left for the point in the right direction, or like
The thing is, we would love it to have more. Like for example, right now maybe someone like have called in like an R in the counter of the for a store, or like left a bit of hair behind, but
Or a
that's
green
not.
flat cap.
Or that one is the most like something to go on we have had so far. Really, is the green flag up, because which group wear green
yeah.
flag up. Okay,
So
yeah,
so
and
people
that's
do you think people are like do you feel like they're almost doing the bare minimum, but it leads
yeah,
you guys nowhere, right? It's just like
yeah.
you know.
It's basically what it is. It's the bare minimum to leave something behind, is basically, but it doesn't really give us much to go.
Yeah,
For
it's like
example, leaving hair behind, like so. What blonde hair? What we gonna do with this? For example, like there's so
I've
many
had a
blonde
few
people.
like graves and stuff. There's been footprints left, and there's just not anything to go on with that.
No.
But then I guess it's also up to them of in my mind, Crim should always want to be caught for a good percentage of the crimes, even if it's weeks down the line.
Yes, yeah.
That's from
I
the
think
crime perspective.
I think
as
a
well,
good
but-
example of that currently would be Edwin and James and their fucking house robberies, probably.
Yeah, like they,
Oh, I felt so
they know how
bad
to
for
get
them.
away with it at the time, but they know they'll probably get caught.
Yeah.
But I think there's probably quite a few people that don't want that and just want to be the big bad wolf that doesn't get actually caught for anything, and that's then where if they do leave some good scenes and we catch them for it, they might get upset out of character, and we have to kind of weigh that in as well.
Well, no, I would say fuck them, right? Because it's not as a criminal. It's not if you get caught; it's when you get caught, right? But
Yeah,
winning all the time, and
It is boring.
fucking
to win all
boring,
the
right?
time. Yeah. One thing I gonna say, like what I think was better. I think the gangs were overall better in 2.0. They were more. Some of them were shitty gangs, but there were really some good gangs out there, and I liked the relationship that was between the gangs at that time a lot more than it's now. There were a lot more gang war hostility between gangs. Gangs actually fought for territory and
there's
hard
been a long
conflict.
period.
Well, I would argue this that there. I don't want to say there hasn't probably been full on like war, right? Like terms, like but there's definitely been a lot more
I would say there's been some skirmishes. I can say
skirmishes, right? But
but
the RP for them has
been kind of shit.
no, not even that. There, it's just like going to war is kind of a big thing now because how do I describe it? For example, the Bayou Boys have been pushing everybody, right?
They've been a menace, yeah.
And there was a good back and forth for a good couple of weeks with the remnants in Blackwater, and it was almost too much back and forth, and they sort of stalled it. And Colt went and said, "Look, if this is going to go on anymore, there has to be, it has to go to the next step." The Bayou Boys backed out of it, right? So like I would say yes. There's no straight up wars, but there's definitely hostilities that are going up to it almost, but not going to it. You guys maybe just don't see it because
It's possible. Like from our point of view, right? So we know that the Bayou Boys is being a menace to people, right?
yeah.
But then we have like the well-established thing, like the Darnells, the Remnants, the Union in Rhodes, like all of them. You see body too much with each other, from my
Um,
point of view.
yeah, I get that, but you still like from a criminal point of view, there we're not at the stage where everything is in the server and everything is found, right? There's
Yeah.
no
Yeah, you need connections.
But the thing is, what I'm saying, this has been a thing even since 3.0, from my point of view.
yeah.
Like the big, like,
3.0 was very handholdy. Yes, yeah, I agree there.
yeah, and it's still in very much in that direction in now, even in 5.0. Like I said, when I joined the 2.0, it was like you really watched out who you spoke to, where you spoke to, and even
Yeah.
if you weren't like in a well-established thing, they were people you don't fuck with, basically.
Yeah. Well,
And
another thing that I would say also is since 4.0, like there's not many big gangs and I'm talking like straight up numbers, like a big
no,
gang, like there's a lot more crews, right, or small four-man groups, or and you can't really go to war, you know what I mean, like the
Yeah.
Darnells maybe have 10, the Remnants maybe have like 15, you know what I mean, but then
mm,
you've got like the Bastille guys, 5 maybe 6 on a good evening.
the thing is not with number. I'm not saying like you have to go straight up for
No,
war, right?
no, of course, but you know what I'm saying. Like the big gang that owns this quarter of the map, there isn't as many of those, right?
No,
It's not
no.
like the remnant or like the remnants, the ravens, the royals, the barons, all on the east coast, right? And then you've got, what I mean, those days I think are basically
They're
gone.
gone.
Yeah,
They're gone. Unless we get like a massive influx of people, I don't think we will see that again.
I still don't think if this server was pinned at 200, I don't think we would have like the big gangs anymore. I think it's too much. Like it's fucking babysitting, right?
Mm.
It's I don't think anybody really wants that. Smaller, more manageable groups seem to be the play, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, I would love to see more rivalry, though. Like, not maybe if you go full hostile, but gangs being like not as friendly as they are with each other, but more rivalry between them. I would like to see stuff like that,
There's a little bit. Okay, yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, yeah.
like selling each other out and stuff like that. I would like to see stuff like that happen.
Yeah,
Like,
I quite like to see gangs use law sometimes. I know how weird that sounds, but if you can,
No, I know what you're saying.
you
Yeah,
know, angle law against
sabotage.
another
Yeah,
group,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
yeah,
Like,
because
for example,
it's
sorry, go ahead.
sorry, I was going to say it's for the lot for since not long after I first joined law in 3.0, it's always kind of been okay if you're a big enough name and you're in a big enough group, fuck law. We'll have zero
Yeah.
RP with you. We'll have a little chit chat here and there, but that's it. But it'd be really interesting to see groups try and pin people against each other.
Like, for example, if let's say for example now, the remnants in Blackwater knew about, let's say, Dardanelles growth spot or something like that, right? Or when they do like shipment or something of some kind, that they will like slip information to law about it. Maybe not directly, but slip it
Even
into.
indirectly. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, just use law to cripple or sabotage their like a rival gang, for example.
I think that will go. See, I don't want to say anything because I don't think I can say anything, but obviously crime sort of stalled a little bit there.
Yeah,
Things are obviously going to change. I don't think that's a secret with certain storyline with a certain criminal who's
yeah.
not around anymore. I mean that's a possibility that could come in the future. I know what you're looking for, and it does sound fun, but there needs to be a reason, right? And there just
Yeah,
isn't the
Yeah,
reason right
of course.
now. But maybe in the future. But look, if I speak, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, no, we're not expecting you to say stuff you can't. It's this is just my opinion on the
Yeah.
matter,
No,
right?
no, no. Of course, yeah. So what you guys would like to see is
Basically, just criminals.
more detail. Like even they don't even have to give themselves up, right? To a
No,
degree,
no,
just like look at us, right? Or
kind of thing. Like,
yeah,
it now feels like criminals doesn't want to get caught. They always wear masks. Like they want to remain like, oh, we're not criminal, but we are criminals. So it's kind of
Yeah,
weird in my opinion.
it's kind of, I think it reached the point for a good while, and I think it's kind of hovering there still, where either crims get caught from the chase or they just get away scot free completely. I think everyone knows the rules behind how we ID people, obviously extending character.
Yeah.
I think there could be times where people get a bit lax with it. They've had a long day doing a lot of shit. They'll maybe leave the wrong belt buckle on, and the voice will slip a couple of times. That kind of thing. Then we can start. We can't straight go and arrest them, but we can pressure them and question them, kind of thing. Build a more RP for both sides, in my opinion.
Yeah. And then what about the variety of crimes right now? Like obviously, we have everything up the tier 1 banks, right? Like what are you guys seeing? Are you seeing I'm assuming graves are just ping 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 at night time, right?
No.
Really?
So they are getting hit, but we don't get pings for a lot of them. Which I love, because it pushes, as soon as that sun starts going down, if we're in town, like restocking on food or sending telegrams, it's a case of, right, it's getting dark, mount up, we need to go watch for graveyards. Not watch them, but patrol through them.
Yeah, but you're not camping, but you're just patrolling.
Yeah. Because obviously I've not sat and watched someone do the entire thing, but I'd say out of maybe every 10 to 20 graves dug, we get one ping.
Well, that's very low, no?
Yeah, I've had it where we've been up near Coulter or somewhere that's miles away, had a call down in Tumbleweed. You get a call for a grave, and it used to be back in the day of, okay, we'll start riding. If we don't get another by the time we reach Blackwall, we'll turn around because they've stopped. But now it's a case of, okay, we'll start riding, and we'll probably still catch them because they'll still be there. We just got lucky and had an early ping for it, kind of thing.
Okay. I wonder then if your pings for graves are so low that something is not proccing on the back end, like
So from what I know is that we don't get pings all the time.
no, I know that there, but like one in 10 seems very low, no?
I think it might be. I've not grave dug since 3.0, so I don't know exactly how it works. But if you still get the skill check, I think it might be if you miss the skill check. But I'm not 100% sure.
So I know it's a bit weird. Like I patrolled with a posse at Butcher's Creek, and we saw a guy at the grave road there.
Yeah.
And no ping or anything, but I literally just watched him dig, but nothing came from like. So I was like, "Wait, is he really digging?" And then took up a knocker, saw it, and yeah, he's digging, and then I shouted to my deputy to go and grab him, basically.
That's good that you guys are like patrolling and not just sitting there waiting for the ping.
No, that's boring as hell. We will if we just did that, we would be extremely bored, right? We need to be out there and do things. We like ride around. Even if we don't find anything, we still ride around and talk shit with each other constantly. So it's more fun being out on the road than just sitting in the office anyway. So.
And what about so graves are graves are like the weird one, right? Because you need to do them to get to the next thing, but they're also entry level, right? So do you think that you know leaves muddy footprints, like, or something like that there is just like maybe the newer criminal not knowing, not wanting, or not knowing what to do, or
It's possible. No, so like for me, like leaving evidence of the digging is not it's not really a big deal for me, right? Because like I said, it's an entry level. It's basically just the basic of the basic.
Mhm.
But like for like store or banks or for example stills or something like that would be more interesting if they left something more detailed behind it.
Or could hear each other, Nathan. Yeah, or could hear each other.
Yeah, if we could actually hear each other, that would be very helpful.
Yeah. Oh.
Funnily enough, though, some of my favorite scenes have actually, like, as in markers that have been put down, have actually been on graves. I think it was back in early to mid 4.0. There was this whole feud between Edwin and Alexander de Graaf.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
and he used to leave him like poems and little letters and drawings and stuff like that. And it was one of them that we could never do anything with it
That went on for
because
fucking months.
yeah, but it would never lead us to him, but we knew it was him
Yeah.
because of what he was saying. And obviously it helps with like a case file, but also it was just a fun RP thing for it.
Yeah, it's fun. But like I said, I don't really care much about the clues there because for me it's not a big thing. Of course, it's fun if they leave something behind for us to go for, but it's not really that important for me as a person. Like
Yeah.
outside from.
See, I think the thing that I used to do, like I used to do footprints, but like they were like, Carter's model is massive, right?
Hmm.
But I would always like leave the footprints, and then because you could decide where you wanted to go, right? So I had a circuit that I did. It was the same circuit all the time. The footprints always got on the horse, and the horse went west, right? And
Yeah,
then
I've seen them.
so I would do that. You can't really do that anymore because of the way, for those who don't know, you get a shopping list and you're at the grave until you get the shopping list complete. You can't like go do like Saint Denis graveyard and then head out to the Orange House and do those two, and then double back into Caliga. You're sent to a predetermined place. Now you're there obviously longer because they want law to be able to show up, right? Um, but there isn't. If you get a shit grave, some people just won't do them because fuck, who wants to do Valentine grave when there's like law everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So the freedom on grave robbing to using myself as an example, to go hit the graves at Emerald and then put like whatever horse prints going west, and then the next ping you guys get, or I hope you guys get, is the one up the hanging tree or something. You know what I mean? Like that's gone.
Yeah.
It's almost like going to a store now. You're at that grave until you're done. But store,
I don't know if that's better or worse. To be honest.
I think the idea of the fence giving you a shopping list is better because hitting and dipping's gone, right? Where someone would be in Ansburg, hit two graves, and then fucking bolt
Yeah, I never liked that. That
to
was annoying.
fucking halfway across the map, right? That's gone. I think that's good. The hit and dip being gone is good. The list makes sense because sure, if you hit and dip with the current one, you get the shit that you dig up, which is like $2 or $3, right? You don't get you want the whole job to complete, right?
But actually, I think one of the first grave robberies I responded to in 5.0 was actually I think it was Sticky and one of his companions. I'm not sure. I think it might have been Harold, but I'm not sure. Um, they were at the digging in Rhodes graveyard, right? And when we got there, like we catch them red-handed. We like, them the shovel is in the ground, right? And we started talking, and Dickie spun up a store that he got hired on by the foreman of the church to help tidy up the graves and stuff like that. And I used to try to see if I believed him and stuff like that. And I think stuff like that makes it more interesting because it gives them a chance to not even if we see them do shit, doesn't mean that it always has to be what we assume it is, right?
Yeah. Because I agree there, because at the end of the day they're grave robbing, that's the
Yeah,
mechanic, right? But it depends how
but
they
it doesn't mean I have to oh no, you're doing this.
yeah
uh, that's the thing also that happened in I think it was 4.0 or 3.0, I don't really remember, but it was with we had Lieutenant Francis back time. He still I think one of my favorite deputies I ever worked with, but he
Jimmy.
was Jimmy. Yeah, he was very unflexible in my opinion.
Yeah,
oh
he wasn't a RP law in my
he was a 1 2 3 cop just going through the motions, right?
Basically.
yeah.
So when the Barons did a store robbery in Saint Denis, they were dressed out, as clowns and circus people. Maybe it's correct. And
Yeah.
put on a performance and stuff like that. I was more than content to play along, but even though I was the negotiator, but he would have none of it and basically shut it down. And I think that was unfortunate because we
That
put so much
so
input in.
that type of law person who it's just like I've had a ping for a store robbery, you're robbing the store. It's very fucking deflating from a criminal point of view, right? Because it's
Yeah.
just like, look, I'm I'm trying, like, this is store robbery 763, right? I'm trying, it's like,
Yeah.
or
Like
or it's something that like you've genuinely put, like, there's some criminal stuff that it can take a couple of weeks to get things to
plan out
align,
and done.
right?
Yeah.
And then you just get this law person, and it's just
They
like,
shut this down right away. Yeah.
yeah, like a few times I've been just like, send me the Sissica, I don't care, you know. It's basically skip. You've just fucked,
Yeah, no, that's boring as hell in my opinion. Like, for example, even now, if for example, if people went to rob the bank, right, and they didn't have, let's say they didn't have a hostage, no masks up, and actually they spin up a believable story for the bank robbery, I would more than likely, play along with it. Uh,
yeah,
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Those of us who've been around a while will almost always try and go with it. We just need it to be believable,
yeah,
and not the same old every single time. Like, how many times has someone been cleaning my grandma's grave?
yeah, no, that's good. Like,
oh,
Um,
okay, this is the 94th, or weren't your grandma burned on this plot last time? It's just
the best one I heard, I might have been, was it you, Avery, or something? I don't know. Someone was like tend to a grave, and they got asked the family name, and the family name was wrong.
yeah, yeah. I've
just
done it
just a
loads
small
where,
little detail,
yeah, it's kind of a fallback of, okay, what's your family member's name that you're cleaning up, and they'll say like Julian Barrett, and it's Sean and McGee or something on the grave, and it's just put a bit of effort into it.
Yeah.
But I
It,
don't know
it doesn't
if
have to be Oscar worthy, but it just,
exactly, yeah. It just needs to be like. There's been times where even during the arrest, we've got to a point of arresting people, and I've been going through pockets trying to work out what to take, and I've gone, oh, what are these 7 gold rings you've got back in there?
yeah,
And
and
they go,
then you
oh, my mum gave me them for my brothers. And I've gone, okay, what are your brothers' names? And they've started listing off names and maybe managed 4 names. I've gone, okay, so you can keep 4 of them, you can't keep the rest because that's clearly bullshit.
yeah.
yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know if you. Obviously, we've not really been together much on duty, Nathan, in
No, it's
5.0.
been
But
very, very
um,
few times.
yeah, like whenever I've got new people in law with me at the minute, if we respond to something, I'll try and be the point of contact of the person negotiating for the first time to try and sort of lead by
Yeah,
example.
I'm trying to do the same.
Yeah, like with grades, there'll be times where someone, because we can't say in character, oh, you have to, if they give you a bullshit story, believe them, because
Yeah,
law wise, that wouldn't make
Yeah.
sense. But we'll show it and kind of go, okay, what's your story for being here? Okay, blah blah blah, have a bit of chit chat, and then just go, okay, have a good night. Try not to be in graves at night, sets
Yeah.
people on edge,
It's,
and then ridden away.
it's like whenever I got taken for a store robbery in Valentine, and a certain lawman wanted to fucking, first of all, wanted to put the hostage in fucking
so
handcuffs,
so that
and
that
then
is
tries to take my lockpick, my toothpicks, just disgraceful. But you did the try, and that was fair,
yeah.
I think try is a very fair mechanic, right?
It is because it's I think it's supposed to be like a 50-50 chance,
Yeah,
right?
it's 50, yeah, it's 50-50.
And I don't see like if someone tries to if they are cordial enough or try enough to do as they do something, I see why not play along, why not give them a chance. Uh, Sometimes I just decide right away, like, fuck it, I like this story, I'm gonna go along with it. But sometimes when it's like, okay, I heard this 50,000 times, I can't be bothered to argue, so like, I just do the try thing.
Yeah. Tell me this
Uh,
here. Going back to the sort of thing you said there about, like, you try to be the point of view of the lead, so the person sees, like, okay, this, I see, this story is semi believable. What happens if, like, now I know you're obviously higher ranked than most people, but say somebody else is taking control? Do you ever, like, face palm or roll your eyes whenever you think they should be fucking playing along, and they're just like, nope?
Yeah, definitely. There's been a couple of I actively try not to step in and speak over people because it
It's
is
their choice. It
demoralizing
is their
for the
choice. Yeah,
law.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's their choice. But there's been times where I can think with I think it's the person who plays Ro now. She used to have a character called Celine who was in WSO for a bit.
Right. Yeah.
Um, there was one instance where she'd been given a story and just kind of carried on and just ignored the fact the story had been given to her. And then when we got back to the SO, it wasn't, I couldn't rule explain or,
Yeah.
explain that we're supposed to go along with it. But it was more of a case of, what set you off? What made you not believe him? Because, from my perspective, he seemed pretty honest man.
You're sort of, well, I mean, you're sort of almost RP checking at that point, right?
To an extent, yeah, without it trying to be too obvious in character.
Yeah.
But more just to get them to think, oh, okay, maybe next time I'll go along with it, and not everything has to be a win, not everything has to be an arrest or a seizure of evidence. If we have to let them go, we have to let them go.
Okay, and then
Oh, God, I'm not on the list.
what's right?
Range just putting
Oh,
not on the
well,
list for the names.
Yeah. I'm still waiting to have a fucking argument with someone whenever my fake ID gets pulled up to be used, But anyway, if, right, this is a hypothetical, right? If ESO with its current roster went to war with WSO, current roster, who would win?
I would say, to be honest,
I think it'd be pretty even. To be fair,
it would be even to a certain point, but I think at this moment of time, like just like skill mechanic, like pure fighting, I think ESO have the better shots at the moment, like in number wise. Like we have a bit more.
I don't think we do. I think we've got one or two that are really good, but then we've got more that are just above average.
Yeah, like we have, like I said, we have really good shooters, but
yeah, I think
you have more balanced troop though in WSO.
Yeah, I think if it was one fight, ESO would probably win. If it was a war, WSO would win by a mile.
Yeah, that's maybe that's
especially given the fact that ESO die every 2 weeks anyway.
I mean, every war
still hurts. Okay,
every war turns into a war of attrition, right? So
yeah, that is what it is. I think though that now I think the numbers is somewhat even between the departments, at least on the roster.
Yeah.
Activity wise, it's I think until yesterday, I think WSO have always had more number, but like it started
Yeah, I think
surprisingly since yesterday for ESO.
Yeah, I think we've this kind of storm for almost as long as I can remember. We've always been well above in numbers, to the point ESO sometimes just doesn't have any, which is common knowledge. Is been in a million feedback threads.
Yeah.
I think ESO has the better, wider coverage in terms of time zones. But then, for some reason, the last couple of days, ESO has just been stacked.
Yeah, I was surprised to see. I was like, oh god, these people I hadn't seen for a while, and now we are like so many of them just around. I love it personally, right? Because
so actually
now
do a redistribution of deputies.
Exactly, instead of just have one posse go around, or maybe like split up to like maybe 2 deputies in one, like spread out. But now we can actually send like one posse to the north and one to the south, basically.
Yeah, no, it is good to see, right? Like even because the bottom line, right, is you need law, so you have criminals, and you need criminals, so you can have law, right?
Exactly, it's a balance that you need.
Yeah.
And they has been very unbalanced lately because I don't know, people just prefer majority just prefer playing criminals, and I don't really personally I can see it because you don't have as many restrictions as a criminal. Like law has a lot of restrictions you have to take into consideration.
But law means expect that, right? Like law means know that it's regimented. You're gonna have your superiors. You do what you're told. Whereas, I think also with criminals in 5.0, 4.0 was so flatline from a crime point of view that if it wasn't story driven, like for example, the stuff that me, Gracie, and Rosie, and McCorn and Bobby were doing, you hit the wall very quickly, right? It was like you did Swamp Herb, you tried Moonshine, but there was a 50-50. The fucking thing blew up regardless of what you did. Grave Robin, stores done, right? That was it, right?
Yeah, that was.
Whereas 5.0, yeah, it's been slow, a few stalls, right? But there's way more to do already than the whole of 4.0. overcome,
And
right?
I love that, to be honest. I
Yeah,
love
I
to
think
see the activities of criminals actually doing
Because
stuff.
because like look, the guy, one of the guys who was with you, the one that was running last night, whenever you had James in the back of your horse, he was like
Yeah,
stressed because it was so busy.
yeah. That was Palmer.
Palmer, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like we have had maybe like one store here, one store there. Like we have like 2 banks, 3 banks so far, like until that time.
Yeah.
And then like we it was a bank that went off, the art gallery went off, and then another bank went off.
I think there was more happened yesterday than has happened in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, and it was
Cheers, Carter.
so when you saw me there, right? I had just like switched out of
Oh, and this
my
ugly
uniform.
yellow Vagos fucking shirt that you're
I
wearing.
love it. Okay, Nathan looks good at it. Shut up. But
I'm just waiting for a vato, eh?
but I just like basically just clocked off duty, went out of my put my uniform, my shit away, right? So and then it just exploded, right? And basically at the time, TD like, okay, Nathan, we need you to clock back on. So I just grabbed my badge and just jumped on my horse and started riding. Didn't
Yeah.
even give a fuck about the uniform or shit.
Because like whenever we were talking, I was like, hold on a second, something's wrong with Nathan. What the fuck are you wearing?
I think from my perspective as well, it obviously heard rumors as law, but now heard and seen more things as plot. I think it's obviously there's more to do in general, but also even the more simplest stuff has more stages to it.
Yes.
Or it's more involved. It's like with swamp, for example. Before you'd grow it, you'd go to the little shacks, done.
Done.
And that was it.
Yeah.
Whereas now, like I don't even know the full process, but I know that there's drying racks that you have to get or make or however you want to go about it. Put them down somewhere, it becomes a thing in of itself. Wait and dry it, go off, do whatever else. It just seems more involved for crims, which is good because it'll keep people engaged with it.
And it gives us more places to actually look and say, oh, we know this is
Yeah.
the hut that where you fix your swamp, and
Yeah.
if
yeah.
you know it's there, it's like there's just so much you can pretend to not know, right? And like when it was on the same location all the time, it's like you ride past that and subconsciously you might just look that way. Now you see people there, it's like, oh,
The only thing that I think the drying racks are cool because you can do whatever wherever, right? And there is a lot of like little hidey holes and whatever.
yeah.
I do miss the drying hut because there was only 2, and there was the possibility that law could show up, which did happen to me once, but other people could show up, you know.
And
Yeah,
try to rob you and
you get
shit,
like
yeah.
contested.
Yeah, you could be pushed or but that's gone. But again, there's fucking drying racks everywhere. Fucking hell.
Oh yeah, there are so many.
I would honestly say that in Blackwater and meta no meta, right? The amount of drying racks that have been around Blackwater probably didn't help with the FPS as well.
I think there should be something, not to be like maybe not allow them in cities, right?
No, I checked. I asked. Mafia says nope. That's what he wants
Okay.
because it makes you guys patrol. I'm sure. I don't know whether you Nathan personally, but Saint Denis is
We have
fucking
found
rat's nest.
we have found a lot of drying racks in Saint Denis, and we still find them now and then. Like I don't know how many we have tear down, but we still like constantly looking because we know they are there. We know that they are in Saint Denis, right? We just know all the hidey holes that a criminal would know.
No, you don't. But anyway, yeah. No, it's good, but I do miss the fact that you did have, the drying racks were one of 2 spots and a possible drag. Yeah. What's been your guys' least favorite job to go to in 5.0? Like, what's the one that you just think, fuck?
I don't think I have had one of those.
Yeah, I don't.
I've enjoyed like almost any interaction we have gotten. There's no, I haven't experienced any time like people start shooting you right away without interaction. I know some deputies have encountered it, but not myself.
I think
And
the one that to me, like in character, is a bit of it feels like a ball ache is the train heists.
okay,
Like I know
that's
they were broken for the longest time.
Well, you guys just straight up didn't get pings, right?
Well,
we
it was the opposite. We got pings, but we got pings fucking everywhere.
yeah, so like
Oh,
It would ping every single deputy that was on duty, and then like one random train station, and you'd have to sit there and stare at your map and try and work it out.
but it's fixed. It's
Apparently,
fixed now, right?
apparently, as
uh,
I've not seen any myself.
so
But I,
pings for the trains is also like I know that multiple trains has been rolled, but so many times we don't even get pings for them because there's some specific like circumstances apparently for the pings to go off.
Well, we won't talk about those just in case, But yeah, yeah.
No.
yeah,
But see, trains have also got reworked. I don't know whether you guys know, but trains are a lot slower now. Well, there's still the issue where the person who starts the contract, right? They can
crash
they can head pop whenever the first wave spawns, and then it's fucked. It's gone. That's a gone, right? But that's a gone for that hour because the guy moves around, right? So
Yeah.
there's nothing you can do. And then this motherfucker has like 30 hidey holes. So, but they're a lot more stable, I think, is the word to describe trains than they used to be.
But
Yeah,
that's a
'cause
good
I
thing.
know
Like I would
historically
love
they've never been slow.
to actually find a train that is being robbed because that could be so interesting to just interact
It
with.
is. So I'm me and obviously Carter. I don't give a fuck about banks and stores and stuff like that there. But see a train. I think a train is like the coolest thing, right?
Hmm.
Because it's traveling from A to B, right? It could be a short run, it could be a long run. Um, it's just cool looking. You're fucking jumping on a train and fighting your way through a train, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it's cool as hell. And if you fall off, then like shit. Okay, I need to figure out how to get back on the train now.
Yeah. Like if I go and rob fucking Saint Denis like general store, oh, it's probably gonna be a foot chase. I'm gonna go here into the slums, you know.
Yeah.
Whereas the train, you don't know where you're gonna find the train guy, which means you can't fucking you can't sort of like set up what you're gonna do, right?
No, it comes like you have to improvise.
Yeah, it's a reactionary crime, right?
And that's fun to do.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
And you might go through a tunnel where people are cooking Munchen.
Yeah, maybe.
Should we talk about that for just a second? That was so. That still was never going to be that was a learning still because Moonshine's currently evolving, and we're pretty sure, and don't say anything, but we're pretty sure that it was me and Eleanor. Ian's was back and forth, and we're pretty sure it was the fucking train guy snitched, right? Because you guys came in because we heard you coming in, saw that. Well, me and Eleanor saw the two torches coming in, so we hid, and then we heard you saying about there's no one here, which meant you knew that there was a still there, but we knew there was no smoke, which means someone fucking snitched. But and then I'm trying to hold you up, but
Yeah, I didn't hear it. That's the
Yeah.
thing about it. I was like, what the fuck?
yeah, and then Elle was gonna go for the other guy because you two were way fucking
Yeah, we were
ahead,
really
right? So, but Avery showed me your point of view, and like my voice is like,
Yeah,
and
no,
then
it is like make no sense.
and then the only thing I hear from you is like, oh shit, and you're right off back down the fucking, or no, you're like, let's talk, and then. But it is what I'm gonna assume it's just team speaking that tunnel, maybe a little bit dodgy.
Yeah, was a bit weird there because
Yeah,
but if you actually if I would have heard you the first time, I would more than likely have surrendered to you.
Oh yeah, and that torch was going straight. Like
Yeah.
you guys couldn't see shit. We could
No,
see-
it
I
was
think-
pitch black.
I think as well, the rest of the group chased, and I think it was me and Nathan that stuck behind to knock it down. And I think even us, we had some issues with TeamSpeak just
Yeah.
while it was just for two of us.
Yeah.
as well.
yeah.
So I think
But
it definitely
so it was going. Look, it could have been going well, but then we seen the four others, and then you guys couldn't see where the fuck we went, and then we got in the horse and dipped.
It was like without the torch, we wouldn't have seen shit. Like I didn't
Well,
even see
I
you like
could
the
see
first
anything
time
with
I
the
rode past. When I rode past, I didn't see you, and the second time,
Well,
you were the only one.
you ran into the horse. You ran into my fucking horse
Yeah.
land down.
So I was like, "It's a fucking horse here," you know. Where's the people? And then I saw you come out, but I didn't see Eleanor at all at the time.
She was down. She would have been at the other guy.
Yeah, and
Um,
but then when I fall
All I
down.
remember is, oh shit, and then he just rides off, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like when I've watched your video, like your point of view, I was like, oh fuck, like really, I didn't hear that at all. I was a bit disappointed that I didn't hear you because
Look,
it could have been such an interesting.
it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting, fun.
Then I came creeping in the darkness.
Yeah, but it's okay. I went back and got my moonshine out of it because Avery didn't salvage it. And then I don't know whether you know this or not, but whenever we were leaving, we fucking ran into 2 fucking grizzly bears. The horse just shit its pants.
So when my deputies like started returning, I was like, okay, where's the people you were chasing? And then we lost them. Like, where? How? Like, where did you lost them? But I didn't really get an answer. So I was like,
And then now I know this is a lie, but out of character. But then Aaron from down near Doyle's, the Faceless or the Fallen, sorry, he was like, "Yeah, I went through and I shot at the guy, doing this, trying to knock down the still because we heard gunshots right, after we had ran off, but we thought, oh shit, Aaron's come through and fucking been shot or something like that there."
no, he didn't shoot. He just walked
Literally
right
just rode
past.
through.
Yeah.
Didn't he?
Yeah, he just rode straight past.
Yeah.
We thought it was a doctor at one point. 'cause
Yeah,
he
we
had,
like
white shoes and socks and stuff on.
yes, we like who is that? And then we just ride past and like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah,
like,
no, he told us
no
he
idea
told us
who
in
the-
character that he shot at the guy, knocking the still down, and just
Nah, he straight past like nothing at all. Like it was me and the neighbor was more like someone is coming, like is that our guys? And then no, that's the wrong direction. And then oh, okay, he's passed. Okay.
I was locked into the animation as well. I couldn't even cancel.
I think it would have been an interesting shootout because you guys were fucking blind as bats.
Yeah.
So criminals can't cry about like law being overpowered. We literally have
I
fucking
did-
night vision.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
no,
start borrowing some swamp.
So, but basically, when Avery showed me your view, I was like, the fuck? Does that have that kind of effect? I need to stock up on them.
That's called corruption, Nathan. That's how you get hung.
No proof, no crime.
Oh well, remember that. And then what? So okay, so because we're a little we're only 50 minutes over schedule, but anyway, we'll keep going. What do you guys hope to see for law in the future outside of outside of more numbers, right? Because obviously you want more numbers, more coverage, right? But is there anything that you guys in particular would like law to have? I know, Avery, for your rank, dogs have been supposed to be a thing since 3.0, right?
I'm not sure about 3.0, but definitely early 4.0. I'd love to have them back because I feel like they'd add a different layer to RP.
It could also help, people that just run off, to like have maybe a chance to track them down somehow.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'd like an SO back in Cult.
no, I think we don't have the population for it. In my opinion, right? Delete Plainview, delete Flatiron, forget about Coulter. Let it be an old fucking disused town up in the snow. There just isn't the population for it.
No, it needs to be a bit more concentrated, in my opinion. Yeah.
I'd still love for each of us to have access to telegrams in each.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
that
right.
would make it a lot much easier for us.
Well, okay. Well, then here's a question. Then we can go back to what I asked previously. Do you think at some point they should look at removing East and West and just having the sheriff's office?
This is actually something that me and Avery have talked about before, like combining the offices.
Can I give you guys my sort of like rough breakdown of like, okay, you have the sheriff, right, of the Commonwealth. We'll use Avery, right, and then you could have 4 under sheriffs, and you've got New Austin. You've got fucking the 4 districts, right, or 4 zones. But there's no issues like what you have, right? There's just the sheriff's office, right?
Yeah, an ideal world would be, like I say, one sheriff. In my opinion, two under sheriffs. So you've got one that specializes per
And
jurisdiction,
then
and
captains.
then a captain
Yeah,
per region.
Yeah.
Um, I, I don't think it'll ever happen.
Neither do I. But
But there's been times that I think everyone's hoped for it in one way or another.
because and the reason why I think like is it maybe time to have that conversation is because like you do see so many WSO in the east, right, or ESO in the west at certain times of the day. Like if you guys are then hamstrung because you're on a different department, you can't use the basic functions. What's the point of having the east west, right? You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
Yeah,
we get it. It's this is also the concern that me and Avery had before, like with the numbers that we had in each department at the time as well. It's like we were like, for example, me and Avery, and I was spending so much time with WSO because there were no deputies in ESO almost around. So I spent so much time with WSO anyway, even though I was an ESO deputy, um, because there were not enough people around. So we posted up anyway, and did entire county patrols.
yeah,
And that's I think around that time was when we started talking about how it would look if the offices were combined. Um,
I think a bit of a in character, but also an out of character reasoning. Though I think it could be more problematic than it's worth. I think.
do you think that's because it is a game and there's 24 hours in a day, there's different time zones, like
Yeah, and I think there's in character wise, they are two very different departments with their
yeah,
own law. They
I wouldn't say
to
on law.
some
It's
extent,
more what's it called, procedures of operation.
yeah,
yeah, to some extent, they're almost opposites in certain places, but it works because, like we were talking about almost 2 hours ago, it's the types of criminals you deal with depend on they often decide how you deal with
yeah,
things. Um, I think from an art character's perspective, it'd be a lot of responsibility and also a lot of power for one person to have being the sheriff of both sides. Um, but also then the time zone argument of okay, if for example it was me that was made sheriff, there would just never ever be a sheriff during 3 out of 4 storms.
yeah.
But that's
Which
when we have undersheriffs would be.
yeah, but
I
it's an
guess
awful
also then Avery, you're fucking because obviously paperwork flows up and down, right? But your
Yeah,
fucking inbox would be double departments, right?
yeah.
it would be a lot more. Yeah,
Yeah,
What
it
if
would probably become unmanageable.
you?
It's bad enough at times as it is with just one.
Yeah, yeah. Avery, can you read this? Can you check this? Can you look at this? What do you think about
It,
this?
yeah,
but
I've had entire shifts where I've clocked in Blackwater or
And done
Strawberry,
nothing.
my entire 5 hour shift. If it's a weekend, has been sat talking to people because they keep bringing stuff to me.
Yeah,
and that's where really like the command is supposed to, like, command team is usually supposed to be there to help out with a lot of that things.
Yeah,
The problem is when you don't have the command for it. Like WSO is suffering from very low command at the moment. I think you have what, three lieutenants?
well,
Four. Who's the
but
fourth
one
one?
of them's Australian.
Yeah. So three. Wait, the graph. Yes, again. Who else?
I know,
Oh yeah, Dinah. I forgot that you made Dinah lieutenant. I forgot about that.
but yeah. Our high command is me, Rain as Foster, and that's it.
oh that lazy
Uh,
bollocks.
which we both have other commitments and we can only be around as much as we can
Yes,
be around,
yeah,
but it's very much a case of there's an in-character expectation that whenever I'm not around, he's around. Obviously he can't always commit to that, and it is also it's a headache in terms of general people clocking as well, where there's been things said in character before that people will only clock in when I'm around, but it's not. It's just that we're all the same time zone. We all finish work at the same time.
Yeah, and we don't really have that issue in the East at the moment, because we have active command. Thank God. Um in the beginning, though, we we're supposed to have two undersheriff in ESO at the moment. Really, we have TJ and then, like I said, Dunn. But Dunn have had some issues, so he hasn't been around for months now. Uh, and then when with TJ gets sick, it's a lot of basically landed on my shoulders when I was alone as a captain active. And I can still not do anything as like an undersheriff can, for example. But I've been just trying to run day to day and try
Yeah.
keep it afloat.
Do you think that people, no, no offense to this done, but whatever, life is life, right? But
Yeah.
do you think that even though they're on LOA or something like that, do you think that people should be rotated out of their positions faster than they are to then allow someone who is active to come up and you know what I mean? Like, I don't.
So that's something we try to bring in WSO because it's always been a thing of if you go down a rank, it's a massive a big punishment. But we're trying to make it so it isn't. So like a few months back, Alex DeGraff had a lot of IRL shit going on, so just couldn't be around, and he was my captain.
Yeah.
Grady was a lieutenant. Grady was around constantly and doing the work of the captain to try and pick up the slack to help me. So we swapped them around. Now it wasn't taken that well in character from DeGraff because it felt like a demotion, but it was, like you say, just reassigning people. I both in character and out of character, I think it should just happen. Same way,
Yeah.
sheriffs. If I'm not around as much as people need, and they've got someone else who's going to fill that spot,
Yeah.
tag me out.
So I think it should be rotated, and people shouldn't be offended if they get demoted, right? Because in the end of the day, it should be what's best for the department itself. I know, for example, for Nathan, I have never really craved to move up the ranks. Really, it just kind of happened.
Yeah.
Uh, and of course, moving to ESO was it was to begin to help out the ESO, right? But it's also like in character, it's a career move also to further the career, so to say. But it's always been what can Nathan do to better the department. So like I said, when I joined first with him, it was never any plan to go over senior deputy, but then circumstances happen that make it it's need to happen.
Yeah.
I think as well the lack of command you were talking about with VSO historically. I think it has led to some good RP for like me and you, like
It has,
as in us two together, because like Kat was saying earlier, we've there's been a lot of conversations where Nathan's kind of gone in character, like, what the fuck do I do?
yeah.
And Avery's kind of stepped in and gone, well, I kind of also got chucked into this position, but this is what I would do. But it's your department, do what you want.
Yeah.
It's been interesting to say the least. Like again, I think like it wasn't too long ago that I actually finally learned how to actually put up wanted posters.
Which I had to teach you how to do.
Dad, I gotta.
Well, it wasn't even that. It was me going to him. If you put these up, no. Okay, can you put them up? I don't know how. Oh, fucking
Yeah,
hell, come here.
basically.
Captain, by the way. Captain, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I think Nathan has performed all right as a captain. Like he's been thrown into the deep end and he has done what he can, like the best of the situation. But like with the cards he has been handed.
Yeah. And
And
do you think that he? I'm assuming you can decline promotions, right?
you can, yes, but
Would he decline undersheriff if he got it?
I don't want to
Oh,
say
This is
Oh.
conversations.
that's a sensitive subject, right?
oh, okay, yeah,
Because Nathan itself is like he's still, like I said, very young. He's still trying to learn everything as it is. I'm gonna be honest. The first time it brought up that maybe replacing Dunn as undersheriff, Nathan was very very against it, as he didn't want that responsibility. But now he might take it just for the betterment of the department.
It's more paperwork though. This is the thing.
That's the thing is though, I have already like as captain done majority stuff that is like under sheriff's
Yeah,
job
yeah,
because
yeah.
I have needed to. Not that I mind it per se. It's just like I said, it felt like Nathan went up the ranks a bit too fast to captain.
But
Lieutenant,
but it is what it is, right? It's
it
happening.
is what
Yeah.
it happened, and I've done the best of the situation I could. And
We've gone robot apparently.
Oh, okay. We'll
Okay.
take a quick little break, and then we'll take a quick little break here, and then we'll get ready to finish up because we've been waffling for 3 hours. All right, chat. Give it 1 minute, okay? All right. Somebody talk a second.
hello.
Hello.
See if we're still robot. Talk again. Sorry.
Hello. Oh, fine.
Fine. Okay. So undersheriff is maybe on the cards for Nathan.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. Avery would be very proud of that now.
Everything's Nathan has gone through the ranks too fast. And that it's going to be more of a headache for Avery.
It's gonna be a hell of a headache for if it happens.
Yeah. Okay.
Thinks it's good for him, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Avery, you want dogs?
Yeah.
Nathan, what do you want for law that currently is not a thing, and you can't say dogs?
Oh, that's maybe something more like useful for breaching. I would say because right now breaching is very. It happens very very rarely, but when it happens, it's very usually very one-sided.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought. Okay, yeah.
So it really depends. Like for example, if we no, for example, the bank in Van Horn, right?
Is breaching allowed? I thought breaching was taken off the cards a while back. Maybe that was
No, breaching is allowed,
still
but
allowed.
we are just very much harder on when to breach, right? We have more like it has to be a valid, very valid reason for breaching, and
like
most of the time,
they execute the fucking hostage or some shit.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I can probably count on one hand, not half a hand, how many times I've breached since I've been in law.
I have done it once, and it was the most weirdest shit I've been part of. It was actually in 5.0.
It's almost very MVL for you guys, right? Because you're running into a defensive position where everyone's set up, right?
Exactly, it's that if they criminals, if they go to the point, they're prepared for a breach, right? So they have the time to prepare and decide how they're gonna handle it. While for us, it's gonna be like, okay, now we have to breach.
Same with stills and things like that. Though.
Yeah, it's
Avery, you and I have talked about this before. I think the no second wave is stupid, because and Nathan, Avery and I have talked about this, right? If I start a still, say that still that you guys came to at like this, it was 30 minutes after a reset, yeah. If I say we killed you guys, that's 5.5 hours of me being untouchable by law.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense, right?
No, I think that the second wave should be there, but it shouldn't be like right away, right? It
No.
should be.
Of course not. Of course not. I think
it should give the times for because what it really should be is that okay, now the criminals know like oh shit, law knows where they're gonna come with reinforcements.
Yes.
They're gonna come more of them. I need to get the fuck out of here. So you should give them time to
The way that I
Not
see
finish cooking, but like pack up and get
pack
the fuck
up.
out.
Yes, that's what I was going to say to you. So the way that I see it is, say the first 6 come in and they get wiped. Obviously, say there's 2 casualties on the 6 criminal side. If there's 6 there, I think we then have 30 minutes, 45 minutes where you either finish what you're doing, risk going on, or pack up and get out. Right?
Yeah.
I
And then
think
cleanup crew goes in.
yeah. Right. The issue with no second wave, and Avery, you and I talked about this the last time. The still in 4.0 at the broken where the wars happen, west of Rhodes. The fucking the
Oh
battlefield.
yeah.
You're just standing there with your dick in your hands, right? It doesn't make sense because there would be a group, right, that say we wiped you, Nathan, in the tunnel at 30 minutes past. Why wouldn't we sit there for 5 more hours and free cook? It's
Exactly.
it doesn't make sense, right? I think
doesn't.
second wave should be maybe on like a bank but something that is very undetermined. It still could be technically anywhere, right?
Yeah, but like it's still specific because that's banks, for example. When you're done, right?
Yeah.
Like you take much, but with a stale, for example, you can cook what you have, and then you can go and grab more stuff and come back and cook more shit.
Yes.
Like you can do it constantly without repercussion, and it's. I agree, it is stupid.
So second wave on something, or you make and I'm near sure a lot of criminals thought that the still was 6 versus 8 law, but apparently it's not.
No, it's 6 on 6.
A lot of people think it's 6 versus 8
No,
until Avery and I talked.
We are only allowed to bring 6 deputies because that's the max size of posse, and that's what we respond with.
Yeah.
If we could have 8 deputies on it,
Because
it would make a difference,
It'd make
right?
it more even footing.
Yeah, it would make an emo because we
Yeah.
have to push you.
Yeah,
guys,
like
right?
a 6v8 is not unwinnable, and then it's
No,
1v1 is fine. 1 can beat 2, 2 can beat 3, 3 can beat it's that
Yeah.
mentality, right?
So basically, like usually when it comes to still, like when law push, it's a very 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 high probability that the first 2 lawmen in will.
Oh, they're
get shot
fucking
down.
they're destroyed.
Done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And that,
Usually gets to be me.
would you guys then prefer for we'll just use stills because they are like outside the norm of like a scripted mechanic. Would you rather a second wave of 6 or a first wave of 8? No second.
I think
would
probably
a
the first
second-
wave of 8.
You sure? I would kind
Well,
of.
my thought process is that if you've got 6v6 and they have, people aren't supposed to fortify the area, but they could get in defensive positions. They know the terrain you're on. They can be prepared. If it's people in tunnels, it could be pitch black and we can't see anything. I would count that first 6 as more than 6 because of the factors on their side. Having 8 means we have more of a, it balances out and we've got more of a chance of a 50-50 kind of thing.
But
Whereas the second wave is still just that first group is getting shot down every single time, and then the second wave is cleaning up. There's never a chance for law to come out on top on that one. Which we don't have to come out on top on everything, but
No,
there's no
yeah.
chance.
I would say
Here's the
I
thing
think from my side of things, the 8 makes more sense, right?
it does, but the same thing there. If the criminals win, then they just keep cooking. That's
Well, then if you make it the 8, then the rule is you've got 30 minutes to finish up and get out.
if that's, then I would say the 8. Yes.
Because with the
Yeah, that's a touchy rule area for me, to be fair. In that, if you've just shot down a full posse of law, realistically, you should expect, even though there's not a second wave, OC, you should expect that. Oh shit, we've just shot down a posse. There's going to be people looking for us.
I don't think you should be rewarded for wiping law and then sitting there for the rest of Storm untouchable.
No, I agree.
Yeah, I think it should just be a case of if you wipe law, you finish.
It's basically like, okay, it means you win law, you win, you won't lose what you have now. Get the fuck out of there, basically.
Yeah, you got 30 minutes to finish what you're doing, which lets you get a few extra cooks in, and then you get your you pack up and you fucking go, right?
Yeah.
What about, and we'll try try and wrap it up. New crimes that you guys haven't seen yet.
Them rent trades.
Yeah, I would love to see the rent trade how they
You know,
work.
we've got numbers for it, but we have no idea what it is.
Wait, sorry, which one again? Sorry.
The ranch
Rent.
heists.
Oh, yeah. You haven't had any pings for anything else then? No.
We got so there was a weird one the other day where no one got any pings, and then we got a message in the law
Yeah.
Discord,
Everyone
and
got
it was
the
the
laundry.
laundromat thing. Yeah, which I can assume what's going on there, but I don't know for sure. But I'm excited to see what that'll be because I'm hoping it's not just a normal. I think it might be, but I'm hopeful it's not just a normal turn up negotiate chase.
Yeah.
What I would love to see is one of the casino boats out in the water or something like that, a heist or something their criminals can do. So we like have to go on boats.
Well, I don't really want to. Well, maybe I do want to put him on the spot. I do remember Mafia saying in 5.0 about a boat, some form of boat heist. I'm nearly sure.
I have no memory of that.
But that could have been like before the revamp became 5.0. I'm not 100% on that, but I'm nearly sure. I don't know. I'll push him.
Yeah, and like
I ain't
that's something
scared.
that's something I would love to see. Like because it would be instead of having horses and running all the time, it would actually be a boarding party, kind of thing.
Yeah.
If it comes down to it, but I think it would be a nice change of pace.
That is still one of my favorite all-time RP moments in 3.0, boarding one of the boats that someone had put a still on that they shouldn't have done. It was a rule break, but we played it out because we seen it in character. And we full-on pirate shipped, boarded this boat to try and stop them.
Oh, were they on the island or were they on the boat?
On the boat.
No, they were on the boat. It was what was his name? The guy who got banned very quickly, Elliot Johnson.
Yeah.
He was on one of the boats.
Oh yeah, I know.
out.
Look, I know. Yeah, I know.
And we had like a almost hour and a half shootout, I think, or 45 minutes on the docks to the boat. Obviously, no one landing anything because it's too far. And then I made the call to go get a boat, got it, and had a mixture of WSO and ESO deputies. And it was one of the keel boats with the big middle bit.
Yes.
I basically had them stationed against the side that wasn't near the boat and kind of went with a wide berth. And then counted down and boarded it and literally rammed our boat into it so that they could jump off and jump onto it. And it was one of the coolest experiences I've ever been in.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
Okay.
so like a boat heist is something I would really, really look forward to.
Okay. Anything that you would see? How do we finish off? Anything that you would like to see from the crim side of things, excluding just like more RP, obviously, is there anything that you would like to see them? I don't even know how to describe this. I don't want to say do, but
So this is also like a weird thing, right? Because when I played criminal, I know how annoyed criminals can be with law, right? And but as a law, I can also see like how much fucking criminals bitch about shit, right?
absolutely, yeah, no, they do.
And what annoys me but it's a thing that I've been constantly like people. They kind of forget a bit that it's 1901. They
the human rights people who get beaten in the cells and stuff like that. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, like we don't really beat people in the cells, right? Or supposed to. But,
okay, Mr. Pistol Whip in the front of Saint Denis, go on.
That's a different thing. He wasn't in my custody at the time.
Oh, it was just straight assault then. Okay, got it. Yeah.
No. It was not assault. He disobeyed the lawful order. Not my problem. But no, it's like I think people need to get into like more into the mentality that it's 1901. People were more brutal, like especially
yes.
like law.
You can't do that. Yes, they would have done that. Just
yeah, they would been a lot more ruthless than we are today in law, like playing in law. So sure, I wouldn't say that we should be as brutal as they were back then because that would ruin roleplay. It would be a lot more.
Yeah.
But people cry too much about stuff when we are rough on them, and we are very very seldom that rough on people. Like I think that with BoJack is the first time I actually have done for that reason. That's disobeying lawful order is the first time I actually used violence to subdue someone like that.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's definitely not the first time.
in
It's
that
first time
way,
in 5.0.
in like sure the game got banned, but that was that was still for like he did a robbery and stuff like that. There was more
Yeah.
a reason behind it, but like something like just disobeying a lawful order and being a loudmouth. This is the first time I've done something like this for that reason. Um,
I think it all depends on who you're dealing with. I think there's, and I don't agree that it should be there, but whenever you're playing law, there's always this little thing niggling away at the back of your head about, if I do this, I'm going to get 10 man to put to speak to mafia kind of thing.
yeah,
And I don't think that should be there, especially for, like I say, stuff that would be appropriate at the time.
Yeah. Okay, and we'll end on this final question then, right? For anybody who is thinking about making a law character, or they have a character who's going to go into law, what do you think makes a good lawman, and what do you think makes a bad lawman that they should have try to avoid?
This is a bit in character and out of character. I really can't stand the lawman who, not just dick swing, but like kind of what I was touching on earlier. Of all criminals are scum. If you do one crime, that's you for the rest of your life. They will have it out for you and be as brutal and shit talk you as much as possible. I like the ones where, in kind of a way that I play Avery, where you know you toe the grey line in between, and you will have civil conversations with people if
Yes,
they're not in
yes.
work mode.
Because one thing the bounce of that I hate. Haha, yo Avery, I'm sorry that I shot you. How's your day been? I fucking
Yeah,
hate crim and law buddy.
yeah, I don't like
yeah,
that
like
either.
stuff like that. 100%. I'm going to be a dick to you back, and you should expect it. But if it's someone that we've caught time and time again doing non-violent stuff, or they're just pissing around, or it was many years back, then you shouldn't have that grudge against them, because I think when you have grudges against people in RP is when it starts to bleed for everyone.
Yeah.
And
Oh
Like
well, yes and no, but yeah, usually yes, yeah.
yeah,
like we had a criminal. I don't know if he's still around. Perman Oleg. I have never
I
like.
love all like
Yeah, like he was a criminal, right? Like through and through. But at least from my experience, he's never shot at law. He's never been violent towards law. He's tried to escape or shot to like drag detention, but has never actively tried to hurt law in any way. He was trying to get away. And like I've gone easy on him because he's been cordial back. He has been a good sport, so to say.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that everyone should like not shoot law, but they have to be prepared. Like just because we're law doesn't mean we're dickheads, right? We are not like the worst person human. Like there's so much dislike towards law just for being law.
Yeah, it's I mean, yeah. But I think you can be, I don't say polite, but
Respectful.
yeah, you know that I know that I know that you know, right? You can have
yeah.
that and just have a
It's
general
like
conversation, not be like, oh, yo, Avery, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, it's like how me and you are in character. I very rarely interact with Carter, but when we do, it's a kind of nod of the head, how's your
Yes,
day,
yes. There's
kind of thing,
yeah,
and that's it.
yeah,
You're cautious of me because you know that I'm law, and you know that I probably know things. Equally, I'm cautious of you because I know things.
yeah. Carter is capable of doing whatever, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
Unspeakable things.
which I love that. Like there was a time, I think it was 4.0 with Ronnie and Clyde and Matlock, where we knew for a fact that we knew for a fact that they'd done a stall, but we had no way to pin it on them. And I playfully joked with Ronnie about wearing the same outfit and being in Saint Denis and doing stuff, because she knew that I didn't have enough to get her on, but we just kind of had a back and forth about it.
yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good. And
So
then
basically, back to like, don't be. I would say be more open-minded and not just strict like this is a crime thing. I think that's what I would say you need to bring in, that open-minded and try to play along with the story.
And is there any like straight up like don't fucking do this that you think outside of rule breaking like that RP wise lawmen shouldn't do, new lawmen shouldn't do?
I think just it's one of those things that once you're in the job and it's part of our oath that you represent the office at all times. I think if you're committing to be a law character, you have to not be an idiot when you're off duty, kind of thing. It just wouldn't make sense.
Don't be one of those lawmen where you do what you want them off duty, because obviously you know it's fucking stupid, right?
Yeah. The most annoying thing is when something's actively going on in front of someone and they go, "Oh, I'm off duty." It's like, okay, you are law. Like,
Yeah.
and I understand you don't want to clock in, but you wouldn't just let it slide, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like I know that as Nathan, I have let small things slide. But not because they happen right in front of me, but I know like roughly like okay they happen like around there, but I didn't see it and I can't be bothered to investigate it right now, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like I just saying like you should be prepared to be more. This is where it comes from me, but more diplomatic. As I don't play Nathan as super diplomatic. Like I give you a couple of chances. Like for example with Bojack, for example, that the time I punched him down, right? It got heated at a conversation, and I told him to turn around and walk away multiple times. He refused to comply, basically, and then had enough.
Yeah, got his fucking
But
face smashed.
yeah, but that's like it always comes down to like circumstances, right? Like I even told my deputies like when I did that, it's really really circumstantial. It depends on who you're dealing with, what you're dealing with, and what situation.
Because you guys know there's going to be repercussions for that, right?
Yes.
Like,
I know. Like I know that the Darnells are pissed at Nathan, like extremely. I'm just waiting for the day that they decide to do something more than the posters. And to be honest, I'm fine with it. Like I wouldn't. When it happens, it's happened. It's part of roleplay and something I prepared for when I did what I did. So that's the thing. You have to prepare to play along with the consequences of the actions you take.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, look, I've done this before with Avery, but Nathan, is there anything that you want to ask me from like the criminal side, or?
Not really, as like as I've played criminals before, I know like roughly how it is to be a criminal, right? But not really like. To be honest, I like not knowing really what's going on.
It's why. Actually, I should ask you this earlier on, Avery. Are you worried on Plob that he gets pulled into something that you don't know about and it spoils it?
To some extent, which is why I've been very careful who I'm interacting with on him. But I think I've been around long enough now that I'll be able to kind of separate everything. Otherwise, I wouldn't risk having him out there. But it's always a risk, which is why I don't want him doing deep end shit, really.
Yeah, because it's like me, right? Like I've always said that like next go, whatever 6.0 happens or whatever happens to Carter down the line, like I'll probably go law, right? Because I've never done it before, but I don't want to do it now because I don't want to fucking know something that I shouldn't know, and then have to fucking porn act it, right?
Yeah.
It's like I rarely watch people stream, right? It's very, very rare. Like I popped into your streams now and that, but as soon as you start doing something criminally inclined, then I always pop out because that's not something I would see how you do stuff. For example, where you do it. It's something I avoid a lot.
Like your Friday ones and stuff, where you're just doing grindy stuff.
Yeah, just getting the daily stuff done. Yeah. All right. Well, look. Okay, we're 3.5 hours into a 2-hour conversation. We'll leave it there. I appreciate it. But yeah, there you go, guys. Right. That's the end of that. Yeah, Avery and Nathan, the Whitman family. We'll see you guys in the next go around.